we've got to give ourselves to this struggle until the end. Nothing would be more tragic than to stop at this point in Memphis.
Hold up, he gonna get this work. You gonna get this work, nigga. Hold up.
Tree from the Garden of Eden. God made Adam and Eve, yeah, Adam and Eve. They ate from that motherfucker tree, now he punishing me. They ate from that motherfucker tree, now he punishing me. They ate from that motherfucker tree, now he punishing me. They ate from that motherfucker tree, now he punishing me. They ate from that motherfucker tree, now he punishing me. God made Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve, and they ate from that motherfucker tree while he punishing me. Why the fuck is you laughing, not funny to me? Why you asking for blessings, that's dumb shit to me. Black atheist ransom, I came from the streets, and where I come from, mine is fuck the police. If you going out them chains, man, I'm holding the key. It's fuck your religion, it's fuck your belief. When I rap about your savior, I can't come in peace. I step in this bitch with the mark of the beast. If you black and you Christian, boy, get off your knees. If you black and you Christian, got short memory. How you preach like you winning, but look like defeat? Man, a voice for the voice is what I'm trying to be. I can't get into heaven, I'm murdering beats. Yeah, young nigga need to run for president. Yeah, you know I'm cooler than the peppermint. Can't name a rapper, I ain't better than. And you know it's all about the melanin. Black atheist, what I represent. Talking shit about this guy like you heaven sent. Talking shit about this guy, ain't no fucking sin. Talking shit about this guy to the fucking end. God made Adam and Eve, yeah, Adam and Eve. They ate from that motherfucker tree from the Garden of Eden. God made Adam and Eve, yeah, Adam and Eve. They ate from that motherfucker tree, now he punishing me. They ate from that motherfucker tree, now he punishing me. They ate from that motherfucker tree, now he punishing me. They ate from that motherfucker tree, now he punishing me. They ate from that motherfucker tree, now he punishing me.
God made Adam and Eve, yeah, that's what they tell me. Along with that bullshit they selling, they told me I spent my life paying for the sins of my daddy. I swear to this day I regret that I fell for the okie doke. 10% was the price and they sold me hope. I resent all the lies I was sold to know. I don't want to debate, but nobody wrote. When I'm asking for evidence, all you keep saying is look at the trees and tell me the book is the key. As if I ain't read this shit cover to cover already, which led to my lack of belief. Well, now you offended, I'm going to hell. Turning to beef, is you threatening me? Through the comments they telling me I need to chill. FOA, she was messing with me, so God made the rules. We broke them, of course, it was part of the plan. Was born as a man, then died to forgive us for going along with the plan. That don't even make sense why I'm saying it. How you make sense of that? You too grown, like how you convinced of that? But you think evolution is in effect. Bro, we actually got evidence for that. Man, I swear motherfuckers be killing me. Tell me one day the Lord gonna visit me. Ask me what will I say when I'm right in his face in the presence of grace and he sentenced me. First I probably call him a piece of shit. Then I follow that up with a where you been? Well, my kin was in chains for hundreds of years. Expecting next praying, where were you then? Yeah, I thought so, you gotta be kidding me. I can't be Tweedledum to your Tweedledee. Everything that I got in my life I earned, and sharing no credit with deities. Every credible witness to all of your miracles only exists in the KJV. If you black and you Christian, you just been conditioned. Can fix that bullshit and stay with me. What's the proof? Can someone show me evidence? This shit all about fair and it's evident. What's the proof? Can someone show me evidence? This shit all about fair and it's evident. What's the proof? Can someone show me evidence? This shit all about fair and it's evident. What's the proof? Can someone show me evidence? This shit all about fair and it's evident. It's evident. And irrelevant. Kind of silly if you think about it.
These mic sound like, man. With this mic.
Hey, you.
Oh, shit.
Me.
What this mic sound like, man? Let me get in here. Can I get a thumbs up for that mic, please? Thank you. Amen. Oh, man. You about to get it. Adios. Ooh. I just had to. Hey, we about to get it. Oh my God, my motherfucking dog in the chat. Let's go. What is my motherfucking thing? Oh man, I'm a proud citizen of this country, man. I'm a proud citizen of this country. We getting it. We getting it. Wall to wall audio. Is that a bad thing? Okay, that's a good thing. Let's get it. Okay. All right. Now, y'all, if you was here yesterday, then you know what's about to happen. Read the. Come on. Have you seen that movie on Disney Channel where every day he had a different name on the Just read it, baby. But we have I got it for you, right? I got it for you tonight. My motherfucking brother from another fucking mother had a debate with a I don't even know what to call him yet. But my boy Shane had a debate, you know what I'm saying? I watched it. And you know, it always feel like during these debates, you know what I'm saying, you gotta be what's the word? You gotta respect your opponent when you debating. Not here. Not here. Yes, there we go. I'm glad. I'll be forgetting. Y'all make sure y'all do that now. Handle your business. What they say? Yeah. Did you know? Because if you didn't know, there you go. Come on now. Bar has a Patreon. You need to support. Do what you got to do. Put something in that bucket. Your tithes, your motherfucking offering. Thank you, secondly. But your Patreon is there for everybody who need to figure out a way. You trying to support the channel. You don't know what to do, but you got cash burning a hole in your pocket. I got you. If you just put that in that bucket. Click that link. Put something in that bucket. You know what I'm saying? Do what you could do. You know what I'm saying? Come on now. I ain't got to say too much about that. Put something in that bucket. But yeah, my boy had a debate. You know what I'm saying? Just like yesterday, I'm about to get it. We about to get into this shit. It's basically I'm about to be reacting to the debate that Shane had. And so we about to I feel like when you're debating somebody, you know, hindsight is 2020. That's what hindsight is 2020. So, you know, today we can actually dissect it better today than we could the day of or during, you know what I'm saying? So I got it. I'm about to pull this bitch up. I ain't gonna waste too much time because I'm getting straight to the act. I'm getting straight to the action. Hold up, let me remove that. Okay. No. Okay, hold on. I gotta share. I just taught my boy Bigotry how to do what I'm doing right now. Shout out Bigotry, my motherfucking boy. In the chat. Where you at, Bigotry? That's my dog. Are we okay? The house is packed. Bars in the house. You in the house. Hello, how you doing? Y'all make sure y'all put something in the comment. Like the video. You gotta like the video. Before I say another word, you got to like the video because this is how other people find us. Like the video. You gotta like the video. You gotta like the video. You gotta like the video. You have to. Now hold up. Before I start, I want y'all to tell me what this look like. Shit. Technical difficulty. Hold up, player. Let me show y'all something. Tell me what this look like right here. We're gonna go boom. Y'all don't like that? That's too bright. What y'all think about that right there? Y'all fuck with that dog shit. This what I really look like. I know people don't know what I look like because I'm always in the dog, but you doesn't know this here right here. So y'all fuck with this or y'all want me to cut these lights off? I don't know. I think it was too bright. Fuck with it like that right there. Let me cut that down, son. Yeah. shit now. Hey, player. How many dollars I look like? I like $1 million right now. Damn, boy, you look good. If I would attach to you, I'd kiss you. All right, okay. Let me get back to this. I want to play with that light a little bit. All right. Let me put this up though. Gotta add that to the stream. Oh yeah. Oh, look at that. I want to be picture in picture like I was last night. Just like that right there. Put this on the big screen. Hold on. Okay. This how we was doing it last night. But until then, I'm gonna click back over for a minute. So I've been okay. The low light. Yeah, I know that low light. That's my shit there. I fuck with that low light. Let's try. Let's give it a try. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Let's get to the action. All right. We reacting to Shane's video. I'm speaking on behalf of Shane. Everything I'm about to say, he probably already approve of. You know what I'm saying? This him speaking through me, the prophet. I'm gonna say what everybody else probably can't say. You know what I'm saying? Let me get it. Let me click this off. I forgot to play that video you sent me. Damn. We rolling now though. Let's get it. Fuck God. Amen. This where we do that at. Fuck God. That's what we do that at. Okay. All right. Let's go. Dan in the oh shit, man. Yo, Dan. What's up, Dan? How you doing? Ugh. My boy. Ugh. All right. My boy. Ugh. Fuck you to my girl. Ugh. Okay. Oh shit. I just met M, y'all. Shout out to M. She new over here, I think. Let's see. I think I'm gonna leave it like that. I ain't fuck with that. I don't know. I just like that dog shit. All right, hold on. Let me get back to it. Okay. I'm excited. Y'all heard the train? We in the ghetto. Ratchet. Okay. Let's get to it. Let's get to this shit. Ooh, it's about to get good. I'd be so excited because I know it's about to. Oh yeah, it's about to get it. Okay. So we reacted to the video. I'm gonna skip to the part where Shane talk with it. Okay. Let me just play it. It's the introduction for right now. Basically, he's saying he's the moderator and the debater. He did a good job though. So let me play this. Hold up. I'm gonna skip it a little bit. Hold on.
Rhology, that's RHOLOGY.
Okay. So let me catch you up. This is we getting straight to it, but the stuff I just skipped is basically Shane introducing the bullshit speaker Allen. He talking about his YouTube channel where he do street epistemology. We don't fuck with that over here. So you know, ain't no need for me to go through that. What else was in that first part? In that first part, basically Shane was telling what the debate is going to be about, which is can knowledge, what the fuck? Wait a minute. Yeah, is knowledge possible without God? That's what the debate is about. I don't forgot. Is knowledge possible without God? In this debate, Shane is the one proposing that knowledge is possible without God. So he's going first. The other guy is the Christian. However, Shane is making the claim that knowledge is possible without God. So that's where we at. That's what you missed in that first part. We're gonna get straight into it. Got my day one in there chat, and she like, got my day two in. Okay. All right, let's get it. Just listen in. So this is Shane talking. This is his opening statement. Let me put the timestamp so I can put this in the thing for everybody who come late. 14:32. Okay, let's go.
Today's debate covers the question of whether or not knowledge is dependent upon a fictional character from a popular religious text referred.
Okay. Now, we just started, but did you hear the shots? He started off with a fictional character in a popular. I was I know that nobody probably caught that, but I felt like that was a cool ass shot from my boy. I was like, damn, he started off with some, a little quick jab. I don't think nobody caught it though, but he called this bitch ass God fictional straight off the bat. So I was like, yeah, I started laughing when he first started talking when I first watched it, because I had to go back and watch it over. But that shit right there made me laugh when I chuckled. I was like, oh shit, get eaten up in this motherfucker. Oh, let's go.
Referred to in English as the Bible. To begin, we should probably establish, at least to some degree, what is meant by the attribution of the word knowledge within the topic. Since knowledge varies in categories such as descriptive, propositional, and ability knowledge, perhaps we should consider which of these types of knowledge is being referred to in the topic. If I ask a question such as, is growing plants possible without oxygen? You would likely infer that if in fact even a single form of plant life, such as moss, were demonstrated to grow independent of oxygen, the answer to the question would be yes. Even if someone were to demonstrate that some forms of plant life, such as avocado trees or grapevines, were not possible without oxygen, a person debating the affirmative of the topic, is plant life possible without oxygen, would win the debate by demonstrating one form of plant life which did exist independent of oxygen.
Okay. Did y'all catch that? Are y'all paying attention? You got to focus in, because the way he formulated this, it all comes together beautifully at the end. But basically, the question is, can you grow plants without oxygen? Yes or no? All you got to do is demonstrate that a plant can grow without oxygen, and the answer is yes. And the analogy is, can we have knowledge without God? All we have to do, listen to me, all we have to do is show one instance where we have knowledge show an instance where we have knowledge without God. That's all we got to do. So for this debate, is knowledge possible without the Christian God? Can plants grow without oxygen? You see the analogy. You see how that comes together. And so if you can demonstrate that plants can grow without oxygen, then yes, you don't need oxygen to grow plants. If you can demonstrate that there is knowledge without the Christian God, then yes, knowledge is possible without the Christian God. That's the analogy. If you didn't catch what Shane was putting down right there, you got to pay attention.
So back to the categories of knowledge. I'll begin by demonstrating that I, an atheist, have at the very least the form of knowledge which is easiest to demonstrate possession of, and that is ability knowledge. A person cannot be said to be capable of doing something intentionally if they do not know how to do it. If upon visiting my niece in California, I enter a room and I see her walking, there would be no bearing to my concluding that she now knows how to walk. And likewise, if you tuned into this debate and heard me talk, there would be no bearing to you concluding that I know how to talk.
Do you understand? Ability knowledge. If you can prove it, it can happen. Can I talk? Am I talking? Can you fucking hear me? Then yes. There is no doubt in your mind that I'm speaking right now. This is ability knowledge. You know that I'm talking because you have fucking ears and you can hear. Can his niece walk? Well, did she not just jaywalk across the front room to get to the couch? Okay, then she can walk. We have knowledge of that because it has been demonstrated. Lock in now. I got you.
As it just so happens, I do know how to talk, and am providing the evidence that I possess this knowledge right now as I speak. So there you have it. I have knowledge without the Christian God.
Boom. Debate is over. That's it. Boom. It's over. It's over. The question is knowledge possible without the Christian God? We just demonstrated that already. How far? Yo, how many minutes we into this? Fucking probably 2 minutes in. It's over. At this point, Shane's just playing along because somebody's on the camera. At this point, it's over. We just demonstrated. The question is simple. Is knowledge possible without the Christian God? Yes. Because you didn't need to. Come on now. I'm going to let them cook, though. I'm going to let them cook. Let's go.
Well, let's be charitable here.
See, let's be charitable. That's exactly what the rest of this video is, because at this point, it's fucking over. We already demonstrated that we can have knowledge without the Christian God just from that easy money. And I would like to add that Shane came up with this opening in like 8 minutes, right before the fucking thing started. So this is, come on, easy. Come on, this Shane we talking. Come on.
Hey, man, hey, let me finish the video. Let me finish the video. But the shit is over. At this point, we are being charitable. At this point, come on.
After all, the debate topic is whether or not knowledge is possible without the Christian God, not whether or not knowledge is possible without belief in the Christian God.
Are you catching that? Are you catching that? Is knowledge possible without the Christian God? Yes. We ain't talking about can't all that other believing it. No. It's one question and one question only. That question has been answered.
So Alan could easily argue that whether or not I have any cases of knowledge independent of any belief in his God doesn't prove that my knowledge exists independently of his God. This kind of argument is fair, but it raises a heavy burden of proof on not just one, but two significant claims. The first being that the Christian God exists, and the second being that no case of knowledge is possible without the existence of this God. If Alan had evidence that this God existed, I would admittedly find it bizarre that a YouTube channel with less than 1,000 subscribers is where he would provide said evidence.
Come on. That is shit talk. This man is, what's that word? What is it called, y'all? What is it called? That is the most passive aggressive shit I've ever heard. Very rude. Thank you so much, Shane. Oh, I enjoyed that. You think I didn't enjoy that? Yeah. Bitch, if you had evidence of your God, you wouldn't be on the oof. If you had actual proof of your God, you wouldn't be on the YouTube channel with less than 1,000 subscribers talking about some motherfucking street epistemology. Nah. This would be worldwide, CNN, ESPN, what's the other one? Fox, ABC, it'll be everywhere. You dig what I'm saying? Shane, I mean, I know Shane ain't like, like fuck you, bitch ass. But at the same time, you have to appreciate this most subtle passive. This was beautiful to me. I was like, this motherfucker is. You started off dissing him by calling his God fiction, and then we slid this one in. Yeah, bitch, if you had actual proof of this shit, you wouldn't be on YouTube. You would be Nobel Peace Prize. You dig what I'm saying? Y'all lock in when. Come on now, y'all gotta listen. Y'all gotta listen to Shane talk. I know y'all used to me yelling and shit, but Shane got a punch or two in him. He'll knock a motherfucker out. He'll left, right, up, down, left, right, up, down. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta catch that shit. Just lock in with my boy now. Just listen to him. Just listen to him.
But much like the way truth doesn't fear investigation, my doubts don't fear proposed defeaters. However, I know for a fact that the Bible is at least largely a fictional story, and for this reason, intuitively conclude the contrary to anything existing within reality being dependent upon anything from the Bible. So if Alan wants to argue that the God of the Bible exists and knowledge depends on it, then he must posit some argument that could not equally justify a belief in any other fictional character.
Are you hearing me? Are you hearing? I mean, not me, but me, basically. Are you hearing my boy? Did you hear what he just said? If Alan is going to propose that the only way to have knowledge is through his God, he must first demonstrate that his God exists, and then he got to also demonstrate that we can't get none from no other God, no other religion, no other. Come on now. You got to lock in. Because he's not only claiming that his God is true, he's claiming that everything, you can't do nothing without this God. You don't even know shit without this God, basically. So not only do you have to disprove everything else, every other God, every other religion, while also providing evidence for yours. I don't think that has been done yet. I don't think that can be done up until this point. This might be over. I'm sorry. I didn't go live that long. It's about to be over. I might need to cut it off at this point. But since Shane, the white man want to be charitable to the white man. I'm sorry. Shane said, let's be charitable. So let's be charitable. Please don't crucify me. I had to. I'm sorry, y'all. This is white on white crime here. I'm sorry. Black man can say what he want. Okay. Let's get back to it.
I could assert that Alan can't come to know anything without Clifford the big red dog.
Man, you have got to admire this man's passive aggressive nature to get in and get out. Like a burglar, in and out. Ugh, I felt that. Bitch, Clifford needed Emily, and the Howards met him home. I love Clifford, the big red dog. So we packed out the family car, and the Howards left the city. He said Clifford. He said Clifford. My boy, hey, put me on big screen for this. He said Clifford. He didn't see. You gotta listen. You gotta appreciate Shane, because Shane, my boy, you could have said the flying spaghetti monster. You could have said Bigfoot. He went all this. Oh my God! You have got to appreciate this guy. Check this out. I want y'all to see something for a minute. Oh man! Wait a minute. Oh man, that was the jam, right? This man said Clifford, the big red dog. Let me get back to it. I'm sorry, y'all. I just had to. That was like, it caught me off guard. He said Clifford. Like, that's what I'm saying. He said it so subtly, you probably weren't even paying attention. I'm like, bro, this man is a passive aggressive genius at this point. At this point, we should just respect him, give him a throne, you know. This is what, hey, listen, check me out. This is what atheism's all about, right? Yeah. Oh yeah, this is what it's this it, right? This get your ticket punched right here. Let's keep going.
And upon establishing that Alan does in fact possess knowledge, conclude that Clifford the Big Red Dog necessarily exists. But this kind of argument is useless unless I can actually demonstrate not only the existence of Clifford, but also evidence that knowledge is contingent upon Clifford. We must be careful to differentiate between valid points being made and baseless assertions being difficult to articulate a refutation of.
Come on, man. Man, he just called listen, Alan ain't said a word. This man already called him baseless. A baseless assertion that you can't even comprehend and articulate a response to. Come on, y'all. I don't know. As a man, I feel disrespected if somebody called me baseless. That's all I'm gonna say. So, that's I was having fun with this opening. I ain't gonna even lie. Even though it wasn't number like 8 minutes long, I enjoyed this very much.
If you ask someone who isn't a philosopher how they know anything or what they think knowledge is, it's more likely than not that they won't be capable of producing an eloquent response which would be satisfactory to someone involved in epistemological study. Nevertheless, this would be a silly and irresponsible reason to conclude that the non-philosopher doesn't know anything at all. If a doctor diagnoses me with pneumonia, I may respond by asking the doctor how she knows this to be so, which she could of course answer by telling me she ran reliable lab tests. I can then ask how she knows the tests are reliable.
I got you, Shane. I got you. Yeah, the assertion was my bad. You know me. I'm so quick to be disrespectful that you're right. Shane was calling the assertion baseless, not Alan. I'm calling Alan baseless though. That was me. Maybe I was just projecting my thoughts into the video. Oh man, I'm just okay. Let's get back to it.
Which maybe she'll answer by telling me she learned how the testing equipment worked in med school. I can then proceed to ask her how she knows what she learned in med school is true, and eventually get around to asking her how she knows she isn't dreaming or a brain in a vat. The point that I'm making is this. In ordinary day-to-day use of the term knowledge, we don't require that someone be able to prove that they aren't dreaming to grant that they can know of any given proposition. I don't require that a doctor be able to demonstrate that she isn't a brain in a vat or the victim of an evil demon in order to say that she knows that I have pneumonia upon her diagnosis. I don't care if my audience is incapable of demonstrating that they aren't all brains in vats or victims of evil demons. I'd still say that they know that they're watching a debate right now. The traditional arguments proposing that we can't have any knowledge have been dependent on a definition of knowledge which requires certainty. Since such definitions of knowledge are so vulnerable to skepticism, Definitions of knowledge which require certainty have been abandoned by virtually all epistemologists.
Did you hear that? Are y'all paying attention? You hear that? Listen to him now. He about to bring it home. Please be paying attention.
For context, the arguments tend to go something like this. Premise 1, knowledge requires certainty. Premise 2, we cannot be certain of anything. Conclusion, we cannot know anything. As it's been explained by René Descartes' cogito, I think, therefore I am, anyone can be certain of at least one proposition, that is, that they exist. So the second premise is flawed. The first premise is also flawed given the context sensitivity of the word knowledge. You may be said to know that the Nile River flows through Egypt, but do you know this to the same degree that you know that you exist? Obviously not. In fact, we can probably think of some other propositions that you know which are less certain than your existence, but are also more certain than your knowledge of the location of the Nile River. This brings me to one of the most fundamentally important parts of this discussion, and that is my theory of propositional knowledge. Despite being an internalist about justification, I'm an externalist about knowledge. That is to say that while I do require that a subject be justified in his belief in order for his belief to be a case of knowledge, I don't require that he be able to know that his belief is justified, or that he be able to cite his justification. I adhere to a theory of justification known as process reliabilism, which says that
process reliabilism. You got to listen to that. That's key right there. Process reliabilism. Did I say that right? Reliabilism. Yeah. Process reliabilism. He's about to break. You got to listen. This is key right here. This is pretty much, it's really over, but just listen to my boy. Process reliabilism. Listen to this.
That the justifiedness of a belief-forming process stems from the reliability of the process. Reliability in this context meaning tendency to produce true beliefs.
The process that tends to produce true beliefs, right? You following? You following? What is this? Okay, let me put it in layman's term. The way I would say what Shane just said is, I've been saying this, but Shane, Shane is fucking philosophical and shit. But the same way I would say what Shane just said is, what is the best method we could use to get from point A to point B? Right. Like I said in the live stream yesterday, what is the best way to get to the end of our natural lives together? Everybody safe, working together, making sure each other straight. It's not religion. That's not the best way. If we're gonna use process reliabilism to get to, the bet, what is the best way to get the best possible outcome for us? That's kind of the way I would describe what he's saying. All of us can't just go around believing what we want and claiming that our feelings and our personal experience equals what's true for everybody. We can't do that. We have to find a process that gets us to the most truth. Process reliabilism. What is the best way to get the most accurate answer? Basically, what the chat talking about? That is it, right? Okay, yeah, tends to produce true beliefs, right? Reliable process. There we go. Right. What is the best way to get to true beliefs, shit that we can actually prove? You need water to survive. What's the best way to test that? How do we know that? How is that true? How do we find that out, y'all? That can be demonstrated. There's a method to figuring out. Humans need water, animals need water, we need water and food. There's a way to demonstrate that. Let's get back into it.
Wishful thinking, faith, and guessing have too high a tendency to produce false beliefs.
Wishful thinking, faith, and guessing have a higher tendency to produce shit that is not true. Bullshit. That's not the best way to get that. That don't give you the best. What that shit. Wishful thinking, faith, and guessing does not have a high tendency to produce true beliefs like this other shit we talking about. It doesn't. It does not. Your faith can lead you to be wrong. It can. You know that. Guessing? Come on. Let's keep going.
and therefore are not justification conferring processes. Empirical senses, logic, and reason have a high tendency to produce true beliefs.
Right. Logic, reason have a higher tendency to produce true beliefs than faith, guessing, and fucking that other shit. I'm trying to keep up. I got you.
And are therefore justification conferring processes. Notice that reliability is not the same as perfection, which means that it's possible that a person could arrive at a false belief through a process which is justification conferring. The fact that even beliefs which are justified can be false is, of course, Edmund Gettier's reason for famously refuting the standard JTB analysis of knowledge. I hold that justification, truth, and belief are necessary conditions of knowledge, though they lack a condition which would render them sufficient for knowledge. This is where what's known as the sensitivity condition brings my theory of knowledge together. The sensitivity condition goes as follows. S would not believe that P if P were not true. To be clear, I'm not saying that this condition is always met, as there are plenty of examples of beliefs being arrived at which, whether they were true or not, would have been arrived at anyway. What I'm saying is that if it be the case that a subject has a true belief which was arrived at through a reliable process, and it is also the case that if this belief was not true, the subject would not have been caused to arrive at it, then the belief counts as a case of knowledge. This can easily raise the question of how the subject could know that his belief meets the sensitivity condition. I don't think, at least in most cases, that a subject can know that the sensitivity condition holds. But given my externalism, I don't require that the subject know that the sensitivity condition holds in order for his belief to be knowledge, just that the condition holds. So knowledge is simply justified true belief which would not have been arrived at if not true. My reason for rejecting the Christian God being necessary for this is genuinely no different from my reason for rejecting SpongeBob being necessary for this.
Come on, man. Come on, y'all. You got to appreciate this guy. Come on.
Knowledge predates Christianity by thousands of years.
Boom.
And thus, knowledge has been around since long before the God of the Bible was ever made up.
Boom. That's the end right there. That's why I said you have to pay attention. It's over. It's over. Earlier in his opening, he demonstrated how we can have knowledge without the Christian God. Then at the end, what you just hear? Knowledge predates Christianity, y'all. The title of the debate is knowledge possible without the Christian God? Yes, because knowledge came before the Christian God. Are you following? Ignore the train. Are you listening? Read the jacket. Get this work. Knowledge predates Christianity. Therefore, knowledge is possible without Christianity. The debate is over at this point, but Shane is being charitable to Alan. I think they should stop letting atheists go first because it tends to be flawless victory. You did. When I debate, I'm gonna let the Christians go first because I don't want them to lose before they speak. It's over at this point. What could he say? The answer to this question, okay, we not even asking for proof for your fucking God. It's a simple question. The answer is yes to this question. Debate is over. It's won. Check. What y'all thinking? He did say SpongeBob. What it is? What it is? Yep. Damn, I forgot to put his chat YouTube channel in the thing. I'm gonna link it when I upload it though. Yeah, but let me see if I can pull it up right quick before I get to Alan. Let me pull it up right quick, y'all. I'm finna somebody do it for me. Secular, come on. You posting Patreons and shit. I know you got a link to every damn thing. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't either. I don't see how you can. The question has been answered at this point, y'all. Oh yeah, y'all. Hey, now I'm chilling because an atheist that has some sense is talking. But this next shit, trigger warnings. I'm talking about trigger warnings, alerts, stress. Get your pain medication. Get your Advil. Get whatever you need that you de-stress with. This next shit is about to be a headache. This neck is about to hurt. I'm sorry. I got to put you through this pain. Please I'm telling you. That's what I'm talking about. Second, I'm telling you. This next shit, you know, Shane is easy to listen to, and he make a lot of sense. So I'm cool. I'm chilling. This next motherfucker, may God be with us. Let's go.
Thank you. All right, and then Alan, I'll just go ahead and let you jump into it.
All right, starting the timer now. Thanks everybody for listening in. Thanks so much, Shane, for agreeing to debate this very important topic. Actually, please note this is not a MAGA.
Yeah, the hat fucked me up. The hat did fuck me up. I was about to say something, but
a hat. I'd just like to point that out to everybody. It's a little bit of a head fake. It's kind of fun to wear it out on the street, and people do double takes like, oh, that's not what I was hoping for, because I'm not one of those guys. Anyway, just like to say glory to the Lord Jesus Christ.
No. That's not what we do. No. Is knowledge possible without the Christian God? That's it. All this, no. We don't want, you know, like if you watched the stream yesterday, you know they all got to fucking preach before they talk. But
to is the way, the truth, and the life.
He said, see? Now, okay. Oh, no. Listen to me. Listen to my words. Again, this is my problem. This is my biggest problem with Christianity today. Notice he said, Jesus Christ is the way, the truth, and the light. I want listen to this. Hold up. Please give me 1 second. I got to show y'all this so y'all can understand where I'm coming from. Earlier today, I posted a comment in the community tab that somebody commented under the video from yesterday. Now, this guy just said, Jesus Christ is the truth, the way, and the light. Listen to this comment. I don't understand if you're an atheist, you don't believe in God, he does not exist, so why are you talking about him like he exists? He is a unicorn to you. You are just a God hater. His ways are higher than our ways, and that is all. Old Testament, he is our creator. We can't judge our God for things man has done. In the name of God, times are different from Jesus' time. I'm reading exactly what this person typed, so that's why it sounds like that, because they don't know how to fucking type. Listen to this last part. You got your opinion, and that's cool, but I don't agree, so let me have my opinion and beliefs. Again. This is what's going to happen. This is what's going to happen every fucking time. When they talk to you, Jesus Christ is the truth, the way, and the light. When pressed into a corner, when they have seen that everything they talk about is bullshit, it's just an opinion and it's just a belief. Now, do you notice how when they first start talking, they introduce their religion as something that is true, as something that is the only way? It's not an opinion and it's not a belief when they talk at first. And when pressed on that issue, well, it just makes me feel good. It just makes me comfortable. Why can't I have my opinions and you have yours? It's because you don't treat it like an opinion. You don't introduce it like an opinion. You don't when you indoctrinate your kids, you don't talk to them like it's an opinion. That's not what you're doing. That's not what you do. What do? You start out by saying this is true, no matter what. So that is the problem. See, Christians you can't have it both ways. Half of y'all talking about is an opinion. Half of y'all talking about is the truth, the way, and the light. Make your mind up. And if it's gonna always end with it's just an opinion, when you backed into a corner, walk up to strangers and say, "Hey, have you heard what might be good news? It's good news. It's good news for me. I don't know if it's good news for you. It's just my opinion. Some shit I believe that I think I'm supposed to spread, but I don't really know because it's just an opinion." They don't talk about it like that. It's the truth, the way, and the light. Let's finish.
It is my privilege to interact with Shane today and set before all the viewers a true knowledge of God's mystery, that is Christ himself, in whom
a true knowledge of God's mystery. Is that not an oxymoron? A true knowledge of God's mystery. Huh?
are hidden all the treasures of wisdom and knowledge, as the book of Colossians says. The book of Proverbs, chapter 9, verse 9 says, "Give instruction to a wise man, and he'll become still wiser. Teach a righteous person, and he will increase his insight.
He's reading the Bible. He's reading the Bible. Y'all know that, right? He's reading the Bible. The Bible is his evidence. I'm going to read the Bible too then. 2 Chronicles chapter 15, verse 13. Those who do not seek the Lord God of Israel shall surely be put to death, whether man or woman, whether small or great. Since we're reading the Bible, let's read it then. You can beat. Come on, I ain't gonna even bring up the verses about slavery. But if the Bible is gonna be our proof, then the Bible is gonna be our proof. Don't let that go over your head. Lock in. Come on. If the Bible is gonna be our proof, it's gonna be our proof. He can talk about whatever the Bible says, and so can I.
The fear of Yahweh is the beginning of wisdom, and the knowledge.
Why would I want to believe something that's based out of fear? The fear of, come on. You heard him right, didn't he? Yeah. Fear. That comes first before anything else. Fear. Before the evidence, you have to fear him first. That's where the faith come in. They scare you, make you put your faith in him. Now once you fear him and you have faith, everything you see is evidence for him. Yeah. When they say look at the trees, fear came first. When they say God is like the wind, fear came first. When they say God is helping me, fear came first. You have to fear him first. Then you have to put your faith in him blindly, and then you have to use everything in your reality as evidence for him. Yeah, it's domino, baby. That's how it works.
Knowledge of the Holy One is understanding, and that's what we're talking about today. Now, I'd like to begin with a brief word about how I intend to go about this debate today. Sometimes debates, maybe they conform a little bit too rigorously sometimes to what somebody might call a formal rule of debate. And so I like to try to, ask as many questions as possible and try to examine things as much as possible. So we're just going to go straight into if I have time, going to interact with Shane's opening statement, even though I do have some partial notes written out here. Now, the words I read earlier, that's actually the answer to the question before we even start this debate, the question that plagues people, the question about knowledge, the question about how we know stuff. This universe belongs to its creator and his.
Prove it. Prove that creator is your God. I'm okay with you saying this universe belongs to the creator that created it. That's perfectly okay with me. Prove it's your God. Prove it. Your God is the creator because the Bible says your God is the creator. And what did Shane say? Clifford needed and only and a hour's nothing. Yeah. Who lives in a pineapple under the sea, motherfucker? Yeah. So this earth belongs to the creator. Okay. Who is that creator? SpongeBob and Clifford. They got together and played dice for it. Yep. So did. That's the game we're going to play, then that's the game we're going to play.
The God of the Bible.
I know. Jesus Christ is God. Yep, he is God. Sacrificed himself to serve as a... Come on. You know the rest. You know the rest.
Thus, the debate resolution asks pretty much a nonsensical question, much as if we were asking, can squares exist without lines or right angles? Or can water exist without wetness?
First of all, I would like to remind you that we already demonstrated that knowledge is possible without the Christian God, because knowledge predates Christianity. So the analogy he's using is showing you how you cannot make a square without lines. Right. That's true. However, knowledge predates Christianity. End of discussion. Period. The right analogy for his bullshit is, can lines exist without squares? That's the right analogy. Yes, lines come before squares. Lines predate squares. That's the right analogy. Because in this analogy, Christianity is the square, not the line. Come on. Yeah. Christianity is the square, not the line. The line comes first. The line is knowledge. Knowledge comes before squares. Christianity is not the line. You have to prove Christianity is the line. You cannot prove that because your religion starts off with fear, then it goes to faith, and then faith leads you to do some shit that's stupid, which is take everything you see as evidence for some shit you cannot prove because you're scared of it. You don't want to say that. You have faith, you think it's knowledge, but it's not. You're scared and you're using something that does not work reliably, like Shane said. Faith is not on that list of reliable things Shane pointed out. So if you're using faith, you automatically need to be looked at, evaluated, and discredited automatically because faith can lead you to a higher tendency to be wrong. Again, you can lead to something that is false using logic and reason and all that shit, but it has a higher tendency to lead to something that is true than faith. Therefore, we should disregard faith altogether because it doesn't give us the best outcome, the best possibility, the best chance. What did he say? Process reliabilism. Faith ain't with that. Right. But let me listen. Listen to me again. I'm gonna repeat it and I'm gonna let him finish talking. In this analogy, Christianity is not the line. Christianity is the square. In this analogy, knowledge is the line. Knowledge is the line. And Christianity is the square. Knowledge is not the fucking square. Knowledge is the line. Shane already demonstrated that knowledge comes before Christianity. Let's go.
For that reason, since I'm denying the proposition, I'll simply be demonstrating that whatever Shane says, he's making up out of thin air with all.
Now, again, I would like to remind you that I have been informed to attack the belief and not the person. But like I said yesterday, we going at first, when the stream first begins, when we first begin, we're attacking your beliefs and not the person. But once you show us that the content of your character, MLK, Martin Luther King, once you show me that the content of your character ain't all that good, then I'm going to be judging you based on your character. So when I call you a bitch-made motherfucker, I'm not attacking you because of your religious beliefs. I'm attacking you because of the content of your character. So when I start to get on his ass for the shit he's saying, that's not me attacking him because of his belief. No. This is the Martin Luther King said, "Judge me not on my color of my skin, but the content of my character." I will do that. That's what I do. So once you show me that your character ain't 100, I'm on your ass. So I gave him the benefit of the doubt. Let's keep going.
With all due respect. Also, this is not a debate about whether God exists, as you know if you read the resolution carefully. For one thing, that's been done so many times, in my opinion. If you have an internet connection, you are without any excuse for adhering to any flavor of atheistic ideology.
Again, content of his character. That is in jeopardy at this point. This is not about my disrespect with him. Is not about his religious beliefs at this point. He said, if you have an internet connection, you shouldn't be nowhere near atheism, because the debates about whether or not a God exists have been won by Christians every time. So there is no reason to be an atheist. Clearly, he's not paying attention to these debates, and clearly he's not listening to understand and comprehend what the fuck is being said. He just conforming. I guarantee you, if you asked him, would you change your beliefs if proven to be wrong? He would say, no, I would still accept Jesus Christ and I would still believe it, even if it was wrong. I don't care. What do we say though? I've been saying I would say a God exists if it was proven to me. They would not stop worshiping this God. Most of them would not. So now your character is in jeopardy. Now this is not an attack on you because of what you believe. It's an attack on you because of the bullshit that I don't like your personality, bitch. That's what it is at this point. I can curse you because I don't like you. Now what? I'm not discriminating on the basis of religion at this point. I don't fucking like you because I don't like what I don't like. I just don't like you. I don't have to like you. We don't have to respect you over here. I'm anti-religion anyway, but I don't have to respect you at all because on my channel, I bring disrespect. We have enough channels where everybody want to, you know what I'm saying, I'm not here to understand you. I understand you.
That debate has been done so many times, and it has been won so many times by the Christians that, in my humble opinion, it is barely worth doing anymore. I could give you numerous citations of debates that have been an utter massacre in favor of the Christian side, where the atheists stood no chance, even the most respected ones. What we're talking about today is rather a specific question about whether it is possible to know anything if Jesus is not Lord. Okay, so I contend that knowledge is.
I don't even think that's the question. I don't like how he worded that. I don't like how he worded that at all, in my honest opinion. That is not what the title is right here. Is knowledge possible without the Christian God? I don't like the way he's forming that question. So that's just me personally. If y'all fuck with that, that's cool. I don't like that. I don't like how he just said the question. Stop rewording shit. Shane put the title of the video on stream for you to see it too. Say what's on the title of the video. I don't like what he just did. I would have a problem with that, honestly. I don't like that.
It's impossible in such a wildly ridiculous hypothetical as a universe in which Jesus is not Lord. But here we are discussing it anyway. Now,
again, you see what it's not really about a universe where Jesus isn't Lord. I don't like that. Is knowledge possible without the Christian God? I don't like what he's doing about if Jesus is not Lord. I don't like that. That's just me though.
Knowledge is indeed impossible, and knowing that this knowledge is impossible is also impossible. So,
makes no fucking sense, but let's keep going.
Please consider the antithesis pushed. Now, I'm going to labor to be highly consistent here. I actually expect to be more consistent than Shane. Here's what I mean.
Ain't said shit about shit yet, but constantly trying to say how everything he's about to say is about to destroy what Shane just said, and how he's only here. He's not really here to prove anything. He's just here to show what Shane is saying is stupid. And that's cool, because he's not the one proposing that's cool. That's cool. That's cool. I still don't like him though. Fuck him.
We are hypothetically positing a universe where Jesus is not Lord.
No, we're not. That's not what Shane is saying at all. I know he may think he's on topic, but in my opinion, he's not on topic. He's not on topic to me. This is not about a universe where Jesus is not Lord. That's not what this is about. So what are you? This is just like why do all Christians do this? Just like the debate from yesterday. The same shit. You took a debate on a specific topic, and then you come to the debate talking about some other shit, trying to not necessarily change the subject, but just tilt it a little bit to where you can sound like you actually have a fucking point.
Shane has put forth his particular position, and I'm going to take on, for the sake of the argument, his foundations as my own. I'm going to pretend that the universe is as he thinks it is. And then I'm going to ask questions that follow from those ideas.
What did Shane even say about the universe in the opening? That's what I'm talking about. Is knowledge possible without the Christian God? Yes. Knowledge predates Christianity. That has nothing to do with what Shane thought about the universe. I didn't even hear him talk about the universe. All he said was, if you're going to say we get knowledge from a God and you ain't demonstrated the God, but you can say knowledge is impossible without the God. What's that shit Christopher Hitchens said? Things that have been asserted without evidence. What did he say? Somebody type that shit in the chat. Somebody type what I'm trying to say in the chat. Christopher Hitchens said it. But yeah, I'm gonna read it when somebody type it in the chat. Somebody type it. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Type it in the chat. But basically, he wasn't saying about no universe and all that. No, all he said was, if you can say knowledge is impossible without God, then Shane can say knowledge is impossible without Clifford. If we just talking, if we just making claims that we can't back up or don't want to back, that's all it was. It wasn't really about the universe per se. That a Jesus Christ is not Lord. That ain't even what it was about. Whether your God is Lord or not, knowledge is possible without him. Whether he exists or not. Whether he, you see what I'm saying? So what are we talking about? Stay on topic. This ain't about the universe. There we go. That which can be asserted without evidence can be dismissed without evidence. That's exactly it. So if you can posit whatever you want to posit because you can posit it, then so can Shane. What you talking about the universe? Like, that was the be all end all to the argument. That is not a got you moment. That is just you trying to not move the goalpost, but get a little bend at that bitch. Get a little turn the Y into like a T. Not really push it back, but just fold it a little bit.
in order to expose
Hitchens razor.
the necessary consequences and outcomes that flow from them. I am assessing the worldview that Shane is proposing on its own merits. I do not believe it will survive that
I didn't hear Shane. I'm okay. Let me stop talking. Let me stop cutting him off.
examination without being shown to be incoherent and unworthy of adherence by anybody. Now, for some specifics. Presumably, Shane believes that life as we know it evolved from simpler organisms over the course.
Again, why are we talking about this? Now, I understand Shane might be whatever he, I understand what he's trying to do, but that has nothing to do with the debate.
Course of some billions of years via mechanisms unguided by any intelligence or volition with no goal in mind. If so, we have every reason to employ the so-called evolutionary argument against naturalism, as it casts serious doubt on the reliability of our cognitive faculties, if this idea of evolution or any similar idea of evolution is true. And therefore, naturalism or materialism, since the idea of naturalism was thought of by human minds, which are, according to this argument, unreliable since they evolved from pond scum, essentially. So let's think about it a different way. If life as we know it did indeed evolve from lower organisms, like amoeba and paramecia and things of that nature, there is little to no reason to think that your brain is reliably aimed at producing thoughts that align with the way things are.
First of all, he wasn't listening in Shane's opening. He specifically said it's not really about certainty, but it's more about process reliabilism. I mean, we're not saying this is 100% verifiable object. All we saying is this is the most reliable answer. This method that we're using to get to answers that are true has a better chance than this other shit. That's all he's not saying that the earth, we're not saying we know we're not brains in a vat. But all we saying is logic reason has a higher tendency to lead you to something that is true versus this faith in guessing. That's it. So I don't even know what he's talking about. It's not about 100% absolute certainty. That's not what it's about. So, I mean, yeah, you can twist the language to where if we say we know something, then you're going to take us down this rabbit hole of how we just not in a mind simulation. But we shouldn't have to do that every time somebody, Shane gave the perfect example with the doctor telling him he got pneumonia. Like, you don't have to do that. We don't have to do this. This is nonsense. Right? He literally explained this, and this guy went right down this rabbit hole.
Reality, true beliefs, producing true beliefs. If that is indeed
talking about if we evolved from scum, therefore our natural cognitive abilities are not anything because we what? What are you talking about? Knowledge is possible without the Christian God. That's it.
Indeed, how we and our brains came about, then the brain at best is concerned, which is a reification. You'll have to pardon the figure of speech there. The brain is concerned with how organisms behave, not how or what they think, not the propositions that they write down in philosophy books. What does it matter?
Exactly, Shane. Let me put that on the screen. Exactly. Fucking explain this shit. Exactly. His win was getting me to admit I can't prove I'm not a brain in a vat, which I literally admit in my opening. Exactly. That was the first thing he fucking said. I don't fucking know I'm not a brain in a vat. However, and he went on. So I don't understand. I don't get it. Let's keep going.
Matter whether I think strawberries are actually strawberries. What does it matter if I think they're maybe alien life forms or CD-ROMs or bullets? It doesn't matter as long as I eat them when I'm hungry and they keep me alive and strong. Maybe I Maybe my brain is deceived and I think that I really like bullets. And then I'm like, oh, look, a bullet growing on that bush, and I eat it. I mean, obviously it doesn't explode, but I don't know anything about bullets. I'm just a brain. I don't know. I mean, I just evolved from pond scum. So I don't have necessarily any, the point is that my thoughts don't necessarily have any connection with the reality of the thing. So I eat the strawberry, I survive because it conferred benefit to me, and I go on. I stay alive long enough to pass on my genes to the next generation of children that I will father. Whether I thought all along that those were bullets or CD-ROMs or whatever, it does not matter in the slightest. All it mattered is that I behaved in such a way as to keep me alive. Now, during Shane's presentation, he said a lot of things that rely on sense perception. Sorry, that's my wife's cell phone. Just ignore that. Sense perception, nerve transmission, brain interpretation of nerve transmissions. Let's ask ourselves this question. Leaving aside the evolutionary argument against naturalism for a moment, let's just pretend that the brains really are geared necessarily to produce true beliefs, and the strawberry bullet thing is not necessarily an apt comparison. How do you know?
I don't know what the fuck you talking about. That's what I do know. I don't know. You right. I don't fucking know. What are you talking about? What the fuck are you talking about, dude? Why is it when Christians talk, I don't understand shit they saying? Then when the atheists start, you know what, that made a lot of sense. Why the Christians can't do that? Now he just said that all the debates that he done seen, the Christians, no, not saying this bullshit you saying they ain't. The fuck is this man talking about?
That your senses perceive reality correctly. How do you know that you are not hearing things? How do you know that you're not seeing things? You say, well, you might say, well, it's not probable and it's not the majority of the time, but how do you know that? How do you know that the impulses that your eyes transmit through the nerves arrive to the brain correctly? How do you know that the brain then interprets those transmissions correctly? How do you know that the brain then coherently forms those properly interpreted transmissions into an understanding of reality of what's happening? Essentially, if the universe is a materialistic universe, if Jesus is not Lord, there's no reason to think that our brains are anything else than factories that produce chemical reactions, and that's it. Even if brains do exist, which also you can't prove. Speaking of which,
What is this? What is this? What is he doing? Are you a professor at a college? Is this a religious studies course or some shit? What is this? Like, what the fuck is he talking about? For real, I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. I ain't gonna lie to you, Shane. I'm lost. The man said you can't prove a brain. What? Chat. I'm talking to y'all. I ain't even studying this. Look at this fool. Look at his face with his mouth open, with his Trump hat on. Look at this bitch. Look at him. I want to see his wife. Whose man is this? I need to check her head. What's wrong with her? Like, what is this? That's what I'm saying. He trying too hard to be deep. Too hard. You ain't get this. You ain't get no money for this. You trying too hard, bro. Deep motherfucker. What you doing all that for? There's a question right above your head. Is knowledge possible without the Christian God? He talking about Shane, worldview, evolution, strawberries and bullets, and what? Okay. His hat say "Make America Puritan Again." It don't say "Make America Great Again." It say, yeah. Oh shit, timestamp. Fuck. Damn. I supposed to have been doing timestamps the whole time. Hey. You know what I'm saying? Talking about the Big Bang and shit. What do you... What? Let me see. My bad. I'm going to do this timestamp. Damn. I'm glad you reminded me late as hell. Shit. I'm just fucking with you. Let's keep going.
Another impossibility to provide any reason to believe is true other than wishful thinking is the idea that there is an external reality out there. Your senses perceive something, so you say, so you think. But how do you know? You don't know. Our senses do deceive us.
We don't know. Now, that's it. Are you happy? We don't know. We don't know.
Even as I believe Shane would probably admit, at times. So the question is, how often? Well, there's not a way to know that. What if they're deceiving us all the time? Would there be a way to know that? No, there would not be. And Shane, what I believe, well, I'll get to that in a second. So we have to ask, how does the external reality that we think exists actually exist? How do we know that?
Look inside his glasses. Is he reading this shit word for word or something? What's that white shit? They're like paper to me. Man got a Christian apologetics handbook under where his. Like this dude is, I don't know. They don't know how to, why Christians don't know how to stay on fucking topic. Ain't said shit about the he ain't. Okay, hold up. Why is it when they take debates, we're debating about something about your God? You ain't brought your God up yet. You so busy worried about attacking Shane in his position that you ain't. He's not even attacking the argument at all. Just like the dude from yesterday, talking about some the Gnostic God, the Gnostic religion's God versus the Christian. That's not what the debate was about. And look at this guy. I'm seeing a pattern. I'm thinking all apologetics is the same. I'm seeing a pattern. That's why they're thinking they win, because they changed the topic to something that make a little bit more sense than what the question at hand is, so they can get a little bit, it sounded like I won if the debate was about this topic right here. Fucking, you a brain in a vat, bitch.
How do we know that other people exist? How do we know that science exists? How do we know that we're doing a debate right now? How do we know that elements and tools and molecules and compounds exist? We don't know that. Memory. How do we know that we have experienced what we remember experiencing? And how do we know whether those memories correspond to the memories of the other people that you think that you've encountered? How do you know that you're reading of what you think they wrote down?
This guy's a brain in a vat. This bitch made motherfuckers a brain in a vat. Exactly. So what the fuck are we talking about? Exactly. You won. Now, since since knowledge cannot be attainable without the Christian God, now demonstrate the fucking God so we can get on with this shit. So we can get to my favorite part of the debate. Why the fuck should we give a fuck about him? What can he do for us right now? You won. We don't know if we're brains in the vat or not. How do we know the memory? We don't know shit. You win. Let's get this nigga the dub. Everybody put dubs in the chat. W. You got the W. Now, can you provide evidence that the Christian God exists? Well, first, in order for me to demonstrate that the Christian God exists, first you got to fear him. He can't exist to you unless you fear him first. Okay? Got it. Once you fear him, now you got to have faith. And faith is Believe in shit that you ain't seen yet. You got W's in the chat. There we go. Put the dubs in the W's for this bitch in the chat. You won, Alan. You won. Now prove your fucking God. You won. He gonna go to the Christian Country Club. I kicked that motherfucker's ass. He's a brain in the vat, y'all. I won. Big Bang and evolution. They don't know what they talking about. You don't know what they talking about. You don't either. Hey. Checkmate atheists. Hey. Hey, you believe in nothing. You gotta believe in something. Even if we can't prove, even if it's just a scare tactic that's based on faith, you gotta believe in something. Got to, y'all. You can't be like Shane the skeptic. You can't just be assuming that knowledge is attainable without the Christian God. You can't do that. That's illogical. Because how do you know? How do you know? How do you know? How do you know? See, like I'm trying to ask you, how do you know? I'm on his side. How do y'all know? Huh? How you know? How do you know what you know if you don't know what you know, because you can't know what you know? How do you know what you know if you don't know what you know, because you can't know what you know? How do you know? Mm-hmm. Shane, you can't be no moderator over here. You lost the debate. I'm sorry. Got to kick you off. How do you know? You asked me what I know. How do you know that I asked you? That I don't know what I know. But I know. But I don't know. Because I can't know. But I want to know. But I don't know why I want to know, because I don't know. I don't know why I don't know why I don't know why I can't know, because I can't know because I don't know because I don't know. So how do you know? How does he know? Because last time I checked, God's way. Oh, let me cook this bitch. Last time I checked, God's ways are higher than our ways any fucking way. So how do you know? We can't understand God, remember? That's what they're going to tell us. We can't understand the God. We don't know the God. His ways are higher than our ways. Then the fucked up part is the devil that he created can come in the form of God. So how do you know? Going back to how do you know if the God of the Bible and the devil of the Bible do the exact same things and they both call themselves God? How do you know, bitch? Ho, motherfucker, how you know? How do you know? We don't know. Now what? We don't know. So how do you know? Faith. What is faith according to Shane? That does not lead. That doesn't have a higher chance to lead to some true shit. Sound like some bullshit to me. Said, bro. Yeah. Fuck is wrong with this dude? He said, I guess I'll go back to you. Hey, yeah, we don't know shit. Okay. iPhone 12 Pro Max. Yeah, I don't know, but Siri know, bitch. Google know. I might not know, but this motherfucking $2,000 phone know. Now what? Yeah. How you like those apples? How do you know, motherfucker? How do we know? How do you know? Let's just sit on that for a minute, y'all. I'm having fun with that. How do you know? I'm gonna make that a zone. How do you know? Yeah. How do you know? Yeah. How do you know? Yeah. Fuck's wrong with this dude? Yes, Google is God. Mark Zuckerberg is the prophet. I always like Mark Zuckerberg. Okay, let me get back to this shit. Zuckerberg. Okay. Facebook is heaven. Mark Zuckerberg is Jesus. Google is God. There, we settled it. Let's go. He said, but hey, keep loud. Let me get back to this shit.
And you're listening to what you think they said is correct. How do you know? How do you know that nature has remained uniform and will remain uniform for the next 5 seconds? Isn't it certainly within the realm of possibility, given that there's no overarching governing intelligence or volition that is keeping the universe stable and the way that we would expect it to be, the way that we hope it will be? So everything that we know about natural laws and laws of intelligibility, laws of communication, and laws of chemical reactions and such, like the ones happening in our brains, could change in the next 5 seconds, and there's no way to know that. Maybe they changed 5 seconds ago, and all of our memories that we think we have of everything are false.
Y'all, there is a scary reality that this man is actually getting some pussy. Like, somebody's fucking him. That's fucked up. He actually getting some. He got a wife. He got a girlfriend. He got a boo. How does he know? How has he If I was a girl, he walks up to me, hey, can I get your number? How do you know? I want to take you out on a date. How do you know? How you know? How you know you want to take me out on a date? How do you know? How do you know? I think you're cute. How do you know? Come on. Oh man, let's get back to it. How does he know? How do you know your wife ain't a brain in the? How do you know your wife ain't a brain in the vet? Motherfucker. That's damn. Man married a brain in the vet. That's some kick ass shit, ain't it? Is that like a fetish? This man married a brain in the vet. How do you know? Let's keep going.
Are false. That's certainly possible. Yes, it's certainly possible we're a brain in a vat. There's no way to know that. So be consistent. If you have evidence, you ask for evidence that Jesus is Lord. Well, I simply ask for evidence about all these confident assertions that you've made.
He already proved it. Knowledge is possible without the Christian God. That has been demonstrated. It is 100% fact that knowledge predates Christianity. So when you ask him for evidence of all these, he already proved it. What was you doing in the opening? You weren't taking notes? Too busy. He probably was kissing his brain in the vat while he was speaking, Shane. That's his problem. That's why a phone went off. He over there kissing on the brain in the vat and shit. That was the problem. That's why he wasn't fucking listening. You already proved this shit.
You've talked about, Shane's talked about ability knowledge, doing something, talking and entering a room. How does he know there's anybody in that room?
Oh my God. I'm gonna stopping it, but this clearly proves he wasn't listening, Shane.
How does he know a room exists? How does he know that he has a body so as to transport himself physically around? How does he know that space exists in which to move? He talked about dreaming, and
This man's opening is a cross-examination. Did y'all know that? Are y'all picking up on this shit? This is not his cross-examination. This is his opening. His opening is a cross-examination. He's failing miserably. How you gonna cross-examine something? Shane just got done talking during this stream. How you asking these questions he already answered?
I believe that the usage of the word, something like day-to-day usage of the word knowledge, is just kind of a trapdoor to try to escape having to prove these things. He demands evidence that Jesus is Lord. Well, I demand evidence that you have any knowledge about literally anything, and you just have to answer my questions. I'm denying the proposition that you know anything.
That wasn't the proposition. Listen. We may not be 100% certain of reality, and there is no way to get 100% facts about the universe. However, there are things that we can use that can lead us to the best conclusion possible at this time. If we use logic, reason, and common fucking sense, we have a higher chance to get to the truth. Not 100% certainty, but the best model for the reality that we have around us thus far. I think, therefore I am. We exist. We do. I'm sorry, Alan. We exist. Now, with that being said, how do we figure out the rest of this shit that's going on? I mean, it's not faith. It's not fear and faith and scare tactics and guessing. That's not it. We're not saying we know 100% facts about reality. But it is best to conclude thus far that we fucking exist. We're here together. So how do we know? We don't know. But it is best to conclude this is the case because of what's available to us this far. I mean, exactly. Thank you for you just cleared it up for me and him. Thank you. Knowledge does, let me write that down so when I go back in, I can remember that. Knowledge does not require certainty. That is the line that I was missing. Knowledge does not require certainty. So stop asking us, how do we know? Stop. What is this, Jeopardy? I know what time is it. 150. Damn. 157. I don't stop this shit so many times. Let me let him go.
The thing is, I just don't think that you're asking the questions deeply enough. You're not examining, Shane is not examining his own ideas closely enough, not asking the same questions of all his beliefs that he is asking of some of his beliefs and of some of the beliefs of others, such as that Jesus is Lord.
The only question he asked, he answered. I don't.
Thanks so much, and God bless you all.
God bless you all.
All right. Thank you, Alan, for your opening statement. I'll just
cross-examination.
I'll just get into my rebuttal, and I'll just use my phone for a stopwatch. Tend to go backwards up to, I'm going to actually not go backwards this time, go forward. So stopwatch is started. Okay, he begun his opening statement by citing Bible verses as his justification. The problem is that the truth of his worldview is actually still in question. So you can't then appeal to claims of the worldview, like such as from the religious holy book on pain of epistemic circularity. So you have an epistemically circular belief where it isn't needed. Let's see, you cited your belief that knowledge is only possible if the Christian God exists. Cool. That's kind of the point of the debate. That's what we're arguing. So, asserting your position doesn't count as an argument. It's just you kind of stating what your position is.
Thank you. Oh, so refreshed. I ain't even finna stop. I ain't gotta stop it. Go ahead, Shane. Get it to him, Shane.
You said that I pulled everything I said out of thin air. I could provide sources to where I got some of what I wish that I pulled it out of thin air. Like if I came up with all of the ideas I referred to on my own, if my theory of knowledge, the sensitivity condition was something I made up, that would be awesome. I study epistemology textbooks such as the Blackwell 2006 edition. I study the works of a lot of people like Elizabeth Fricker. I mean, I don't have to name every epistemologist that I read the work of, but it's not thin air. I read the work of other epistemologists. So, and if someone's, involved in epistemological study, they would probably recognize that by a lot of what was referred to in my opening statement. Okay, so you posited this hypothetical where my worldview is true and said that your approach was going to be to ask me questions and sort of, play almost what would be referred to as the skeptic game, where you show that there are some things that you could ask that I cannot answer. Yeah, I actually would fully grant that there are some things that I can't answer. That's not a flaw in my worldview, though. It's just the fact it sucks that there are some things I'm not able to answer. Let's see. You criticized the fact that evolved cognitive faculties are flawed. I don't see how you would be immune to this problem. Why is it that coming from pond scum is somehow rendering me worthy of criticism, but then you coming from dirt isn't? I mean, if any...
Come on. Cook this nigga! Come on!
Anything, I would say pond scum is a little bit more complex than just dirt. So if we're comparing the two, then I don't see why that really matters. I don't hold that evolution caused us to evolve to have perfectly, properly functioning brains, right? Like we evolved to experience illusions and delusions, for example, because a pretty good example would be if you were a person who believed in evil demons and spirits and shit, like you would probably run away from any rustling of bushes or anything like that you heard. And if you were a skeptic like me going, well, what's in those bushes? You would probably get eaten by a lion. So it actually just makes sense that evolution is going to cause us to have brains which are...
Okay, Shane, I know you probably done seen all the scary movies where the white folks go looking for the noises and shit. Y'all ain't evolved all the way, clearly, because black folk run. But y'all ass get to hearing shit. Y'all hear in all the Michael Myers movie, he making noise in the closet. What's that? Y'all go tiptoeing and get y'all ass ate. So clearly, the people who directing these movies don't think that y'all have evolved, Shane. I'm just fucking with you.
Prone to having tendencies to have false beliefs. I don't hold that our cognitive faculties aren't flawed, especially empirical senses. And it seemed like part of the criticism was that, but I don't hold that. You said that we can't prove brains exist. I want to be charitable and just assume that was...
No, don't be charitable to this bitch. He fucked up and he need to be called out on that bullshit. That was some bullshit. Mr. Shane, I know. I love you. But you too fucking charitable. No, this nigga deserved it. You should have said that was the stupidest shit I've ever fucking heard. I don't want to debate you anymore. Get the fuck off my channel. That's what you should have told that motherfucker. Talking about something. We don't know a brain exists. Mr. Shane the skeptic. I want to be charitable and assume you didn't really mean that. Fuck shit. I want to be charitable and assume that is not what the fuck you really meant. You meant to say we can't see brains through the skull. That's what he meant. That's what you meant to say. There is no way. Nah, Shane. Get your nice ass back. Yeah. He meant that shit. He said it with confidence. He said and then he side remarked it. Not only did he just say it, but he said it like, yeah, that's how he said it. Brains on his head. We can't prove that. He said it like he know that was true, Shane. Yeah, I want to be charitable and just assume you didn't really mean to say that fuck shit. He did. He meant it. He meant every word of that shit.
I was somehow you were misspeaking and he
didn't misspeak. No, he didn't misspeak.
meant was that we can't prove that brains are the cause of the mind. I'm sure you'd be willing to grant that, like, what we call a brain actually exists. If your worldview is dependent on brains either not existing or not having anything to do with the mind, then neuroscience debunks your worldview in itself.
Easy money.
Right? You're going to have to posit some explanation for why it's the case that the brain, which exists in the material world, when it's affected by other material things, for example, being knocked out, you lose this consciousness. And if I'm citing consciousness being the effect of a materialistic process, and then when that materialistic process ends, so too does its effect, the argument's looking a lot more in my favor.
Get this work. Come on, Shane. Cook him. Get him. Get this bitch.
Even if some of these senses come from God, it doesn't remain true that sometimes they deceive us. So you could say, oh, well, according to your worldview, and you're bringing up my reliability on empirical senses and then the fact that they can sometimes deceive us. But even if our empirical senses and our cognitive faculties come from God, isn't it still the case that they sometimes deceive us?
Right. So even if you win, you still lose, motherfucker.
So even if a God exists, we still have imperfect cognitive faculties. So that isn't a problem with my worldview, because that remains true no matter which of our worldviews is correct.
Come on.
You brought up skepticism of memory, in a sense. How do I know what I remember is actually a thing? This is sort of alluding to solipsism. Well, there's an axiom there. We presuppose that reality is real to get our feet off of the ground in any given discussion. And you know what? It looks like that's my time. So I'm just going to...
Shane, you're so charitable. Charitable motherfucker.
Cut myself off here and move it over to Alan for the rebuttal period.
Giving this bitch the benefit of the doubt. He already showed that he's a weak-minded motherfucker. He don't need to... He don't even deserve the same space as you. Bitch.
Starting the timer now. Thank you, Shane, very much for that well-considered and measured response, and for your opening statement, and again for this whole event. Been very enjoyable so far. All right, so just to try to... Like I said, what I believe is happening here is Shane's not asking enough questions.
What the fuck are you talking about? What are you talking about? Are you not fucking listening? He just got done speaking. Come on. Asking enough questions about what? What is he talking about? What is he talking about? Please help. I don't understand. You literally just went through everything he asked you and answered Again, it's starting to move away from attack the belief and not the person, and I'm starting to judge the content of your character. What is the problem here? I don't understand what he's talking about. I don't get him. Oh my God, why I don't understand him?
I'm coming here willing to ask all the hard questions and to give the...
Does your fucking God exist?
the answers, no matter what they are, even if they're really, really hard to hear, even if they're not what we want to hear.
Can we prove your fucking God exists inside of time, space, and matter? And how does he benefit us in our daily life? What can he do for everybody that's living on this planet at the same time right now that can be demonstrated and proven 100% verifiable fact, objective? That's my fucking question. Since you like hard questions, bitch, here you go. Serve it up, plate. There you go.
So taking on as best as I can, a materialistic universe in which Jesus is not Lord.
I have yet to hear Shane say anything about Jesus not being Lord. That's all I'm going to say. So what is he talking about?
As the grounds, I'm trying to be consistent with those presuppositions. Okay, or if you don't like the word presuppositions, then we'll talk about that foundation. Okay, so Jesus is not Lord. What flows out of that? What ideas flow out of that? Okay, that's what we're talking about. So I think that, so let me talk about his idea of justification conferring processes, which is the way that he feels confident in making knowledge claims. I have to ask the question, how do we know that any such process has actually occurred in reality? How do we know what constitutes justification? How do we know that we don't entirely misremember? So it's easy for us to say, no, totally. I mean, we obviously remember, because otherwise it would be crazy and absurd. Well, that's exactly what I'm saying. To deny Jesus' lordship is totally absurd and totally crazy, and it leads into saying things that lead to these absurd conclusions. Yeah, the whole point is that it is totally absurd to believe that Jesus is not Lord.
I put him on a little screen. I'm not about to give him no big screen. It's totally absurd to believe Jesus is not Lord. Jesus is innocent to proven guilty of being fucking Lord and God and all that. You ain't demonstrated that. How is it? See, again. It's absurd to believe that Jesus is not Lord. Remember that comment I just posted. When it breaks down, when it breaks down, this is just an opinion that they based on fear and they use faith to hold. So how is it absurd to not believe in an opinion? The comment that I posted earlier said that I want to have my opinions and y'all have y'all's. Leave the Christians alone. Okay, why don't he address it as an opinion then? Because they don't believe it's an opinion. They only believe it's an opinion to make you shut the fuck up. They only believe it's an opinion when you have some shit to get off your chest. It's only an opinion when you have some verifiable facts that disprove this bullshit. That's when it's an opinion that makes them feel good. That's when it's just something I want to believe. You keep your beliefs to yourself and I keep my beliefs to myself. That's when it's like that. When you have something that makes them look like a fucking idiot, that's when it's an opinion. But when they think when they think they're winning, it's absurd not to believe it. When they think they're winning, it's absurd not to hold this as true. When they think they're winning, you are the freak show. You are the one that's fucked up. Something's wrong with you. Yeah. Attack the belief and not the person. They are attacking us first. If you think me not accepting your opinion is true is absurd, that is a reflection of your character. Something's wrong with you, not your religion. Because show me someone that goes around being mad at others for not holding their opinions as true, and we treat them like a good person. We talk about them. We don't talk about those people in a good way. If I have an opinion that you disagree with and I get mad, people are going to call me a bitch made motherfucker. People are going to call me some bad names. They're going to say something's wrong with me. Yeah. So when I talk bad about Christians, I'm not attacking them because they're Christians. No. They're mad at us and calling us names because we don't like their opinion. Fucking opinions to yourself. If you put your opinions out into the world, people are going to talk about them. This is not true. This is an opinion, and we're not going to give this to the kids. We're not going to let you spread this. Not by the hair of our chinny chin motherfucking chins. We gonna step in and say, fuck you and your opinion. Disrespect. That is what we do. That is what everyone does. If someone breaks into your house and try to do some fucked up shit to your family, that's disrespectful. What are you supposed to do? Disrespect their ass back. Right. So if someone goes around talking about their opinions like it's true, treating you wrong because of their opinions, talking bad about you because of their opinions, thinking they're telling other people something's wrong with you because you don't hold the same opinion as them. That is disrespectful. I return with disrespect. Why you won't just leave them alone? Let them believe what they want. It's not a belief to them. It's not just an opinion that everybody want to keep to themselves, to these bitches. These bitches want to spread like cancer. I'm going to spread like corona too. You can't cough, bitch. Put a mask on because I'm coming. They want to spread. So do I. They don't want to be quiet. Neither do I. They don't want to stop. Neither do I. So what's up? I have yet to see a Christian tell another Christian, keep your beliefs to yourself. He said, if you don't accept that Jesus Christ is Lord, you're absurd. And when it boils down to it, when pressed hard on it, when disproven on every definition of that word, when proven to be clearly bullshit, it's going to be, well, it's just my opinion. Let me believe what I want. Then talk about it that way. That's my whole spiel. That's my whole problem with this shit. It's not absurd to not believe in that Jesus Christ is fucking Jesus Christ. Even if he was God, what the fuck has he done for us? Anybody in the chat, name me a time Jesus Christ helped you through some shit. I'm talking about for real, where you saw him, you took a picture with him, y'all on Facebook going live together. Show me that, Jesus Christ. If you can't show me that, what the fuck we talking about? Again, if it's going to boil down to, I felt Jesus Christ, I believe, then talk about it that way. It's just a belief that you need to keep to your motherfucking self. If not, you have to see me. Because it's disrespectful to tell me to be quiet. That's disrespectful to me. You can't tell me what's disrespect to me. I tell you what I don't like, and you do your best to not offend me. It's disrespectful to tell me to stop talking shit about bullshit. We call a cat, a dog, a dog. Bullshit is bullshit on my channel. We say fuck God around here. We say keep it to yourself or else around here. We call these motherfuckers bitches and hoes around here. That is what we do. If you don't like that, you ain't home. When my streams first start, it say welcome home. Everybody here is on some fuck this shit. We're haters. We don't like this shit. This shit needs to be gone. This shit make my ass itch. It sounds like racism. I don't like it. I don't have to like it. It's your opinion versus mine, bitch. You gonna speak about it that way. If that's the case. I have an opinion about your opinion. Yeah. Since when did we supposed to start? No. People have died over this. People have been treated wrong over this. People have been abused over this. People come out about traumatizing stories about over this opinion every fucking day. No, we ain't shutting up shit. The factory we gonna work every day. 7-11. I'm always open. We ain't stopping shit. It's absurd. If you think Jesus Christ, man, look, man. Fuck these beliefs. Fuck these religions. Fuck these gods. I ain't trying to convert nobody to no non-belief or no. Fuck an atheist too. I'm just trying to do what Shane said. Let's get to the best. What has the highest tendency to get us the best result? That's what I want. It ain't fucking religion. So fuck religion. Let's put all this shit down. Fuck a god. Fuck an atheist. The trip part is putting all this shit down and focusing on each other leads us back to where I'm trying to get us any fucking way. We might as well. Y'all know I had to rant. I'm a preacher today. Quit fucking playing on me.
You know, so he, I appreciate what he said about, I wish I was pulling it out of thin air. Yeah, me too, man. I believe
you are pulling out of. I'm gonna let him have it on.
me. Every time I read something brilliant, I'm like, man, wish I thought of that. But moving on from that, Shane says he can provide sources about these ideas, but I would just.
He's already demonstrated that knowledge predates Christianity, and we can have knowledge without the Christian God. He already demonstrated it. At this point, you need some pussy at this point. Call your wife over, get your brain in the vet, and beat your meat to her. At this point, you wasting our fucking time. You need to go shower or some shit. You look like you smell like mayonnaise and cucumber oil and pocketbooks and the change in between. You don't look like you smell good, bitch. You need a fucking bath and a gym membership. I don't like you. Because Shane has said this shit 4-5 from 300 fucking times. I wrote it down. Knowledge does not require certainty. Please stop asking us how do we know, because we don't fucking know. We just assume, bitch. We taking it on faith, motherfucker. We're scared. Ooh, let me cook this nigga. We're fearful and we have faith that this is the case. Now what? Oh yeah. Oh, how the tables do turn around this motherfucker. Now I want them to say something bad about that. Well, you can't base your life on fear. Oh no, I can't, huh? You can't base your life on faith. Oh no, I can't, huh? Oh, okay. Oh, okay. 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 All right. So that means imagine all the atheists coming out and saying, let me write that down. That's going to be a video. We are fearful and faith. The trip part of this, y'all, this is where this is going to lead us to. It's going to lead us to our opinion versus theirs. But guess what? I'm okay with walking up to strangers and saying, I have an opinion. Are you? Come on, let me cook. Opinion versus opinion. That's going to be the title of the video. I'm cooking. It's hot in here. Opinion versus opinion. We are scared and we believe in bullshit on faith. You scared. You believe in bullshit on faith. Let's all put all this shit down and focus on each other. But that leads us back to us. Talk about a deep thought position around this motherfucker. Let me preach to you. Jesus, Sunday, K glory. Read the jacket, baby. Read the jacket. Let me preach to these niggas. Yeah. How do we know? The answer is we are fearful and we believe on blind faith just like y'all. It's our opinion versus y'all's. Let's all put our opinions down. That's gonna be. I'm letting y'all know a video is coming about that. It's gonna be called Opinion versus Opinion. The Christian God versus the atheist God. It's gonna be clickbait. Yes, it is. Let's finish this bullshit.
I would just ask, how do they know? I would just pose the exact same questions to these professional epistemologists. I don't believe that they can answer. I mean, I've talked to numerous people who are knowledgeable in these areas, and I don't see these answers coming forth. And people with much greater learning than me, like Greg Monson or Van Til or Plantinga. These guys are asking the questions of academia as well. They're not getting any answers. That's why I employ these arguments, because I believe that they are very they show the bankruptcy of this worldview very clearly.
I don't like him. I don't like him. I don't.
Now, he grants that there are certain things that he cannot answer. I get that. I just wonder, have you stopped to consider that you can't answer anything?
The argument from ignorance does not prove you are right. It just proves that I'm wrong. I don't know the answer. You still have to provide an answer. Just because I don't know does not mean you win by default, friend. My friend, please. You repeatedly talked about how you watched all these fucking debates. How don't you know what you talking about is the argument from ignorance? Shane said he doesn't know. Therefore, I'm right. You ain't asked enough questions, bitch. But you got a lot of answers, though. I smell a lot of what's that shit called? Quizlet The shit y'all ever had Quizlet, the little website where they show you the answer, then they show you the questions and shit. Like you get to study for the. Sound like a lot of Quizlet shit going on. You got a lot of answers, buddy, but you don't have no. You ain't asking enough questions. How do you know your fucking God exists? You don't.
I mean, have you stopped to consider whether you can answer anything, and how do you know? Even the like we talked about the processes that confer justification. You don't know that those processes occurred. Evolution, you say, did not take us to the point of perfectly functioning brains. How do we know that they function at all? How do we know that they address reality at all? You say you're not willing to grant that brains or minds exist. Or I say that maybe I'm not willing to grant that brains or minds exist. Well, I'm just saying, where's the evidence?
Shane, this is what you get for being charitable and giving motherfuckers the benefit of the doubt. He just doubled down on that shit. He doubled down on it. The same shit that you said, bro, I know you didn't mean to say that. He doubled down on it. He repeated that shit. This was live. Other people saw this. This guy has a family that he's probably telling this shit to. Hey, son, we don't know if brains exist. Come on, man. This is what you get, Shane. This is why every opportunity, well, you killed him. You killed him. You killed him. He doubled down on it, Shane. He came right back to it. As good of a person as you are, you gave this motherfucker the back door out. He said, nah, I'm gonna take the front. He came right back to this shit.
Oh, I misremembered. He said that I was not necessarily willing to grant that, or maybe hopefully I would grant it. But I'm just asking, where is the evidence that brains exist? Where's the evidence that I have a brain? Where's the evidence that you have a brain? Where's the
Shane, you did this. I want to let you know you did this one. This your mess to clean up right here. How do you know I have a brain? Fucking loser, man.
The evidence that we have a mind, that either of us has a mind? Where's the evidence that there's another mind? My senses, but my senses are suspect, so I can't use those. What else you got? You got nothing. You suggest I check with neuroscience. Well, how do you know neuroscience exists? How do you know their experiments exist? How do you know they properly line up and align with reality? How do you know what it is to be knocked unconscious? We presuppose that reality is real. Okay, I guess, but I mean, that's very much a throwaway statement. You don't know that reality is real because you don't know what real is. You don't know what reality is. You don't know what constitutes reality. You don't know what fills reality. Now, it occurs to me that there's one thing that you might say, well, I can definitely know that I exist. The Descartes' formula, cogito ergo sum. I think, therefore I am. Have you ever stopped to consider that? I mean, we're talking about whether other minds exist or whether we can know anything or whether anything exists. We're just stopping to ask that question. And you say that you think, I think, therefore I am. Who's I? I don't grant that I is a thing. Prove it. So the point is that Descartes' formula begs the question that he is a thing and that he is thinking and that there's any such thing as causation. How do you know that causation exists? How do you know that thinking leads inexorably to being? How do you know? Now, the reason why Shane keeps making confident assertions and be like, but I mean, in the day-to-day, we actually do know stuff. That's because Jesus is actually Lord in reality, in the world around us. By the profession that he makes, he denies that. And so when you take on the worldview and on its foundation, it turns absurd. But in reality, in the day-to-day, we do know stuff because Jesus is Lord.
We do know stuff because Jesus is Lord.
Okay. Thank you for your rebuttal. So here's the thing is you can, and let me set my timer really quickly. So you can repeat the sentence knowledge is only possible if Jesus is Lord till the cows come home, but it doesn't get us anywhere.
Thank you. So, man, you know what you're doing, dog. I'm talking about just when I needed hope. I'm losing hope in humanity. Here comes Shane. There we go. That's what I'm talking about, Shane.
What I want to know is, what is your criteria for knowledge that only Christianity meets? Like, tell me what knowledge is according to you, and then explain why only Christianity can meet that criteria.
According to me, I see no reason to think that knowledge exists. So I just need you to prove it.
I needed a break. I'm sorry. I needed a break. Yes.
You have the affirmative.
Okay, wait. So whether or not the Christian God exists, you don't think knowledge exists?
Yeah, that's correct. If Jesus is not Lord, then I don't.
No,
see
I
the
said
reason to
whether
think that-
or not.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. I mean, this is not a debate where I take on the burden. Okay. So the question is knowledge possible?
Well,
without
there
being-
is still a burden if you say no. There's a difference in saying I'm not convinced of something,
Mhm.
and there's a difference between actually arguing the negative. If you want to argue that knowledge is not possible without the Christian God, you have to posit what knowledge is, what criteria is necessary for it, and why only Christianity meets that criteria. Otherwise, it can be as simple as my demonstration that I know how to talk by talking right now. Like, there we go.
I have no reason to think that you're talking right now.
Really? You have no reason to think I'm talking?
Shane, you have got to be fucking kidding me. Shane. No. Shane. Bruh. What am I?
Talking.
My senses are very possibly flawed and unreliable.
Okay, so you don't trust your senses at all?
No, I see no reason to. No. Do you have a reason to?
Yeah.
What is it?
Sure. So logic, reason, and empirical senses are things that we depend on to make any conclusions. So we presuppose them. So the presuppositions that are necessary for the arrival at any conclusion.
Oh, okay. So I can presuppose that Jesus is Lord. I guess.
No.
We just killed the
No,
conversation.
because that's not a necessary presupposition. You could.
Thank you, Shane. Jesus existing is not necessary for shit because in the beginning, Shane demonstrated that we do not need Christianity. We do not need God. We do not need Jesus to have knowledge. Thus, making the presupposition that Jesus Christ is Lord irrelevant because it's not important, it's not needed, and it's not even the main. It shouldn't even be our main focus. We use our empirical senses, logic and reason. We use those with or without religion. So, bitch made motherfucker, Alan, whoever the fuck you are, sir, you gotta be the Antichrist. It need to say Antichrist on your shirt. You gotta be the mark of the beast because you's a fucking ugly, stupid motherfucker. This is stupid at this point. This is not about your religion anymore. This is you trying to be so smart. You're fucking stupid. Fucking idiot. Fucking clown. This freak show. You a fucking brain in the vat. Clearly.
Could
There it
arrive
is.
at beliefs. No, it's
Yeah.
not, because I could provide an example of arriving at a belief without Jesus. Let's see. I believe that my computer is on right now. I'm arriving at that belief because of my empirical senses and some reasoning process. Nothing to do with Jesus.
Jesus.
Shane, you are the light in the world right now. It's very dark, but you are a great light right now. You're giving us hope. We believe. Thank you for cooking this motherfucker.
Jesus gave you those senses and that
Prove that Jesus gave it to us, bitch.
reasoning process.
Prove
You're
it.
made in his image.
Prove it, bitch.
Prove it.
I don't have to, right?
I don't have to prove it. Shane, how did you do this? Shane, I think you might need to be evaluated for some psychiatric treatment because there's no way. Look at you. Look at Shane's face in this video. There's no way you're sitting here. I know you know there's no way you come on. This is Shane's clone right here. This is a something else. Ain't no way this you. No. I would have lost all my shit talking to this dude. I don't think I'm gonna be able to debate people because I'm gonna just flat out just say like that was the dumbest shit I ever heard, and what you saying makes no fucking sense, and you probably need to be pushed hard. People have died over this. People have suffered over this. So I'm sorry. I don't know if Frank Turek or any of these you have to prove you're gonna have to prove some. You're gonna have to prove some. Because we hurting over this one. People are hurting over this religion. You're gonna have to prove some. You ain't finna tell me you ain't proving shit, bitch. I couldn't be me. My first debate gonna be my last. I'm calling motherfuckers all out they name. Bitch.
Yeah, you
You
do.
don't have to prove
You
yours.
know you
Why
do
do I
have to
have to-
prove
why
it.
do I have to prove it?
If you wanna say, because I demonstrated that I know something. Now you're responding to me demonstrating that I have knowledge by saying, well, you could only have that knowledge if Jesus existed. So you are making a claim. You don't like being held to the burden of proof, but you do have one. Prove it. Prove that Jesus exists.
Well, you asserted that you know something. That's the difference. That's not the same thing as actually knowing something or proving it.
It is, though, because if I didn't know how to use StreamYard, I wouldn't be streaming a debate right now.
How
So
do
the
you know
fact
you
that I'm
want
using,
StreamYard?
how do I know I'm using sense experience and reason?
Do your senses ever deceive you?
Yeah.
How do you know they're not deceiving you right now?
It's not plausible that they are. I can do more than one check. Anytime I've been deceived by my senses, usually my senses are how I figure out that I was deceived by my senses. You don't have, so the fact that the epistemic basis for my belief is less than perfect doesn't matter.
So you use your senses that are possibly flawed to check that your senses are not operating on a flawed
You
way.
presuppose that empirical senses are reliable.
Well, I don't see any reason to presuppose that, but I just presuppose Jesus is Lord. I guess we.
Well, if you didn't think that your senses were reliable, then I would love to know how you turned your computer on today.
What makes you think I'm talking into a computer right now?
Or whatever streaming device.
What makes you think that I'm like no? What makes you think that
because in order for you to be talking to me right now, you have to be using a streaming device.
How do you know that I'm talking to you right now?
Because I can hear you and I can ask you questions and I'm interacting with you.
Have your senses ever deceived you before?
Yes, doesn't matter.
Well, you're using your senses to
that doesn't matter.
Intake what you believe is me talking, and then you're using your memory.
Yeah, they're less than perfect, and I granted that at the beginning. So you can point out that it's less than perfect all day. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. How do you know how less than perfect they are? How did you arrive at the conclusion that they are not only less than perfect, but like how did you arrive at the conclusion that they have any reliability of any kind?
Testing them.
But that begs the question.
No, it doesn't. Not really. I mean,
Okay.
you have epistemic circularity. It's being an inescapable thing, right? Like if you have a set of cognitive faculties, say F1, F2, F3, you want to form your belief that F1 is reliable. You have to use F1 or another faculty, so you could then appeal to F2. But then, of course, you have to prove that F2 is reliable, and that raises the question of, okay, well, how do we arrive at F2 being reliable to prove F1's reliability? We have to appeal to F1 or F2. Well, and then you keep getting more basic beliefs. You can ask further questions, get to the point of, solipsist type of arguments and go, well, you can't prove that you aren't dreaming or you aren't a brain in a vat, so you can't have any knowledge. But my question to you is, do you require that a doctor be able to demonstrate that she isn't a brain in a vat to believe that she knows that someone has pneumonia?
I don't know that I have ever seen a doctor. I don't know. I don't know the external world exists or that my senses are reliable. I mean, you keep asserting they are.
Okay.
But I don't see any reason to consider.
I mean, I honestly, I don't think you're being charitable. I think that that's not something you actually think, because you do have to use your
I mean, obviously, I'm a Christian. I follow Jesus. Jesus provides all the foundations of intelligibility, rationality, memory, and all of that stuff, and sense perception.
Okay. Well, I made my case for how I can have knowledge, and when I made my case for how I can have knowledge, a very elaborate one, knowledge being justified true belief, which would not have been arrived at if not true, and that Jesus has nothing to do with any of that. So I've already made my case. Now you refute my case, and all you're saying is, well, Jesus is Lord, and that's what's required for knowledge. I mean, it's just, I'm sorry, dude, but your dishonesty is just glowing right now.
Glowing. Glowing. The content of his character, dishonesty. What do we do with dishonest people? We hold them accountable for that dishonesty. No one gives a fuck about your
right now. Like,
my bad, Shane. Don't cut me off. I made a mistake and press the button. Nobody gives a fuck about your religious indoctrination, your religious beliefs, who taught it to you, why you believe it. If you're dishonest, we must treat you like you're dishonest. Most people that believe in this bullshit have to be dishonest to make it make sense and to have a conversation about it. This is why when I talk about Christians, I talk about them so brutally, so disrespectfully. It's because being dishonest is not cool. Why should I talk about dishonesty as if it's okay? No, because whether you're atheist, Christian, it don't fucking matter. If you're a dishonest motherfucker, we gonna hold you accountable for that. We gonna talk bad about your bitch ass. We gonna look you in your face and say, you're fucking dishonest. That's not fucking cool. Get the fuck away from us. You're not invited to the party. You don't get an invitation. You get a pink slip, bitch. Revoke this motherfucker. Attack the belief and not the person until the person's character has been shown to be dishonest, lying, punk ass, jackass, weak motherfucker. Then it's fair game, free real estate, bars going for the jugular. I play nice and you get one fucking shot to be honest. You blow that shot, you done blew it. I respect you until you show me you're disrespectful by looking me in my face and lying to me and being dishonest to me, motherfucker. Intentional or not, I don't give a fuck. If you dishonest, you dishonest. Somebody got to teach you a fucking lesson. So what's up? Somebody tell me something, because I'm trying to see what's up. Fuck is they talking about?
Please.
Well, just about the dishonesty thing. I mean, do you understand what I'm doing? That I'm taking on your foundation and attempting as best I can to be consistent with what I believe.
And that's cool. That's okay. That part is cool. The problem is, you see, when Christians tell us they believe a God exists, that's cool. When they ask us, are we convinced of that God? We can say no. We don't have to prove a God doesn't exist to say no. We can just say we don't believe, we're not convinced of it. There is no, we don't see no evidence for it. We're not convinced of it. The burden of proof is not on us. But if a Christian says they believe in God, the God is real, they have to demonstrate that. In this scenario, this smarky, whatever the fucking word is for this bitch made motherfucker, he thinks he's trying to do the thing where since I'm not the one claiming something, I don't have a burden of proof. You don't have a burden of proof until you say Jesus is Lord and knowledge and logic and all that shit comes from him. He is you have a burden of proof at that point. That's what I'm trying to tell him. That's what Shane's trying to tell you. Accepting what I'm talking about and trying to use it against me, that's fair game. But you're not just disagreeing with my proposition that we can have knowledge without the Christian God. You're not just unconvinced. You're claiming that the reason why is because of Jesus Christ. You have to demonstrate that, dog. That's what you're not understanding. If you would just stop at, how do you know? How do you know? How do you know? That's cool. But then when Shane asks you, okay, I don't know. How do you know? You say Jesus Christ. Prove that. Well, I don't have to prove anything because I don't have a burden of proof. Yes, you do, because you didn't say you don't know. You said Jesus Christ. Shane said knowledge does not require certainty. Translation, I don't fucking know. There are questions I don't have the answers to. I don't know. When it's your turn, you're not saying you don't know. When it's your turn, you're saying Jesus Christ. When it's your turn, you saying you do know. If you claim to know, you have to demonstrate it the way Shane did. Shane said we can have knowledge without the Christian God. He proved that shit 2 minutes in. It's your turn to demonstrate why we can't have knowledge without the Christian God, because you said we can't have knowledge without the Christian God. Again, if you would just say you don't fucking know, you don't have any answers, you wouldn't have a burden of proof. But bitch, you keep talking about Jesus. It is your turn. Shane, please give me the thumbs up. I know. I was just giving him I'm being charitable. I know he does it. I had to be charitable. Shit. Because this is ridiculous here. And you got a straight look, man. You couldn't be bar. Woo, you's a good one, boy. I need everything. I need your spirit, your soul, the Holy, whatever the Holy Spirit doing to you. I need this and this, because ain't no way, boy. Ain't no way.
Your foundation is. That's what I'm trying to do. So I'm not sitting here acting like that I would answer the same if I were talking to you like as a Christian talking to an atheist. But I'm not. I'm taking on the foundation I believe to be most consistent given your own statements.
Okay. Have you questioned your foundation? You talked about me not asking the right questions. I'm like, have you questioned your foundation at all?
Yeah, that's why I came to the conclusion that since Jesus is not Lord, we can't know anything, and we can't know that we can't know anything, and that life is totally absurd.
Okay, how do you know that?
Any such thing as a life? I don't know it. I don't know.
You don't know it? Okay, so you're making the assertion that you can't know something.
Right. Well, I don't know that.
But then you don't know that you can't know it either?
Right.
That's kind of self-defeating, isn't it?
Yeah, it definitely
is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. I think we've arrived at convergence. It's self-defeating.
I mean, it's a straw man if you're saying that that's what my position is, because that's not what my position is.
I would make a distinction between a straw man and a conclusion you find unpalatable. I believe it is the most consistent conclusion given your own foundation. I just think that you find it unpalatable.
No, but I don't arrive at that conclusion. So you're basically, I see what you're trying to do. You're trying to make a sort of like proof ad absurdum. You're trying to show some absurd conclusion that my worldview leads to.
Yeah.
Okay. But my worldview doesn't lead to it. You're just saying that it does. That's why it's a straw man.
Well, then you need to answer some of the questions I brought up. I mean, you need to show me how you know that you're not a brain in a vat.
No, I don't.
Okay. You need to do you need to answer any of my questions? Are there any of them that you'd like to try to answer?
If they're like ridiculous questions about, prove that you're not dreaming, prove that you're not a brain in a vat, and those are presuppositions that are necessary to get any discussion off the ground. Like if we can't agree that reality is real for the sake of the discussion, then we have nothing to talk about. It's a waste of time.
Thank you. Thank you, Shane. Thank you.
Well, I mean, I guess we could agree that, well, reality is real. I don't recognize that we know anything about reality, or that we know what real is, or that what is. So,
Okay, well, that's your
or
problem.
the nature of reality, or what constitutes.
Thank you. That's your problem.
Well, I think it's
For you.
everybody's problem. It's everybody's problem.
It's really just yours. Like nobody else has any bearing to saying that they know.
How do you know other people exist?
By interacting with them.
You're just assuming that your senses are reliable. Maybe they deceived you at that moment, every time.
I'm starting to get curious as to why he even took this debate. Honestly. I want to know how he knows. He won't answer that though. He keep talking about how you don't know. Your sense is not reliable. So what did he use to reach his conclusion?
Do you know?
No, because if my senses deceive me, there are things that I can kind of test and check to see if that's actually how they're deceiving me. So, for example, like if I take a glass of water, right, and I put a pencil through it, it appears that it's bending. But I can do some other tests to see what causes that illusion to happen and whether or not that's the most plausible. What's the most plausible explanation?
Using the same
pencil
senses.
is actually bending, or that the light causes that refraction.
Using the same senses.
Sure, and logic
That
and
are
reason.
flawed.
So I'm using other faculties. Doesn't matter. Okay,
The
so
reason is flawed.
do you not use logic and reason yourself?
I don't have any reason to think that any of those things exist.
Because
or
it's
that we
funny
know what they
because
are.
your whole criticism,
Bro.
of my worldviews, it seems to be that logic and empirical senses and reason are flawed. Okay, well, even if God exists, logic, reason, and empirical senses are still flawed. So your criticism still holds to your own worldview if it applies to mine.
Oh, maybe we could debate that sometime, and I'll take off the atheist persona and actually, debate,
Shane, how did you? I don't know how you did this. I probably would have been calling him out his name at this point. Maybe we could debate that sometime, bitch. What the chat talking about? Exactly. I'm finna pin. Let me start pinning these comments. They got us fucked up. Look at this. Like, bro.
I mean, the atheist persona is not doing you any good, dude. Like this, you're embarrassing yourself. Just take your position.
Yes, you're embarrassing your fucking self.
And argue your position.
Well, I'd rather take on your foundations and continue to explore those, since that's
okay. But okay,
how is this?
Then do so in a way that isn't strawmanning me.
I really am not trying to strawman you all, but I do think what's happening here is that I'm being more consistent, and that you just don't like my conclusions. I think that's what's happening. But I mean,
what's happening is that you're making the assertion that certain conclusions follow from my worldview, but I can actually reason from my own worldview and realize that those are not the conclusions that I arrive at. So I demonstrate that to you, and you turn around and assert that my worldview entails those conclusions, even though I explained why I didn't. So that
right. I think that your explanations are mistaken. So I mean, that's obviously we've kind of talked through that quite a bit. Maybe let me see if there's something else that we could pivot to a little bit different.
I mean, okay.
But feel free to say something else while I'm looking at my notes.
Right,
it's fine.
I mean, Christian philosopher who kind of actually knows what he's talking about can see the problems that you're making as well. I'm interested in in whether or not more people think one of us is right has nothing to do with who is, but I'm interested if we can find if anyone on the atheist side would see any dishonesty in my side, because everybody, Christians and atheists alike, seem to be noticing it on your end. Like you're a very uncharitable interlocutor, and I'm already disappointed, to be honest with you.
Well, I thought I was being very charitable, but anyway, we could just move past that. What do you think about could you give me a brief assessment of what I talked about with respect to, since we talked about some of the other things that I brought up during my opener, the kind of planting as evolutionary argument against naturalism. Have you read much about that before?
The evolutionary argument against naturalism, it basically asserts that, and I haven't read it in depth, but that if we evolve to have the cognitive faculties that we evolved to have, then they could have evolved to be flawed. So we therefore have no reason to trust them. Something like that.
It's very similar. In a nutshell, I would say that specifically the way Plantinga puts it out is that like the faculties that we evolve to have produce beliefs that are best suited to producing survival and the propagation of our genes to the next generation, not necessarily producing beliefs that align with reality. So that's what I was talking about with the strawberries and the bullets and all that kind of stuff.
I would agree with you. It is the case that we've evolved in such a way that we're subject to some false beliefs, like gods and spirits and clairvoyance.
Do you have any, maybe in your own life, could you give a percentage approximately of how many like true beliefs you think your cognitive faculties produce versus false ones? Just ballpark.
I don't know that anybody could do that, but I'd say like the how often do I realize I'm wrong about something? It's become less often since I've improved my epistemology, but I'd say I have a good 85% reliability of arriving at true beliefs, like roughly estimating, probably 85.
And you believe that you're improving kind of your one would hope that you're improving your like your thinking skills over time and recognizing errors more quickly, more aptly as time moves on, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would agree. So the thing is, like every time we make an error, we are time-bound beings. We are in a linear, life to death thing. We get a certain amount of time. We can't go back in time, obviously.
Had to give y'all a pause from these motherfuckers talking. I don't like his fucking voice.
So anytime I make an error, it's an error in time that I cannot go back and undo. I can try to learn from it, yes, but I cannot undo it. So, however, there have been times, both in big and small things, that I've made an error, and then I thought I learned from the error, but what I thought I learned from the error was actually itself erroneous, and I had to go on to a third or fourth or fifth correction. So big things and small things. Is there any reason to think that every time you believe that you have, come across a correction to an earlier error, that correction is not itself erroneous? How would you know?
How would I know if the correction? Well, whatever caused me to arrive at my correction. I don't know how much I understand. I'm sorry. Can you re-ask that question? I want to make sure I get it right.
It's kind of a long-winded question. We make errors. We try to learn from them. Okay.
Right.
We learn from them by correcting the error, but later on, because we had to learn.
Right.
But then that thing that we thought was a correction might itself be erroneous.
Oh, okay. So I think I get your question. How do I know that I'm right in my correction of what I was formerly wrong about?
Yeah.
So sometimes I'll actually be wrong about it, right? Like sometimes I could have actually been right the first time, thought I corrected myself, and actually I made myself wrong in that, right? So it depends on the context of the situation. Sometimes I would know that my correction was right. So like if it was a math problem, I'd be able to know it because I could then continue to test it. So, if I used to think that 1 + 1 = 3, and I've corrected myself by arriving at putting two things together and then being, 1 and 1, and now it's 2, then that I could actually come to know because I can continue to test it. Though there may be some other propositions which I wouldn't be able to know that I corrected myself on.
So I'd like to ask, the bigger questions and ask more questions about more things. You think that there are certain things that are justification conferring processes.
Oh yeah, I'm glad we got into this because it seemed like you might misunderstand what I mean by process. When I say belief formation process, I'm referring to things such as faculties that we use to arrive at beliefs. So when you say like, how do I know that process happened? Like my reasoning, how do I know I reasoned myself into something? That's axiomatic. It's self-evident.
Okay, so it might be like it might not be like a process that took a really long time. It might be kind of a snap thought, but the process,
it's self-evident.
Took like a couple of microseconds.
Yeah.
For
So the way that this is done, and I think it was Alvin Goldman that I learned about process reliabilism through. Yeah, Alvin Goldman. He's an ex-journalist, epistemologist. So he compares belief formation processes, some of which are intuitively justification conferring, and then some of which are intuitively not justification conferring. And then he looks to see what criteria they have in common. So if we take faith and wishful thinking, then we look at what they have in common. What they have in common is they have a pretty high tendency to produce false beliefs. Now, if we look at things like that are intuitively justification conferring senses, let's take empirical senses, logic, or reason, and we look at what it is that they have in common, it's tendency to produce true beliefs. So what we're figuring out is what they have in common is reliability. Reliability being tendency to produce true beliefs. And if you talk to multiple different people about what justification is, when they say they're more justified in something, usually what they mean is I arrived at it through a more reliable process. So if somebody says, I believe A, but I'm more justified in my belief than B. I believe A and B, but I more justifiably believe B. What they probably mean every time that I talk to them is I arrived at B through a process which had a higher tendency to produce true beliefs than the process through which I arrived at belief A.
Okay. The tendency. So let me branch off that and take a small not a detour, but just segue actually. You talk about
logic. I mean, knowledge does not require certainty. Remember that.
Tendency to produce true beliefs. I think we might all agree that since we're not perfect, our reasoning faculty.
Shane, this was the first thing you fucking talked about. Certainty, 100% certainty, being perfect. It's the first thing he talked about. I was listening. I wrote it down. This guy should have wrote it down. I listened. I knew this probably what he been waiting on to bring up the shit you talking about. It has a tendency. It has a high tendency, but it's not perfect. Knowledge does not require perfection. Knowledge does not require certainty. You don't have to be 100% certain, but it has a high tendency to lead to it's reliable, bitch.
Faculties are not perfect. That means that our reasoning faculties can be dependent on a certain percentage of the time. Let's say it's a high percentage of the time for really smart people, like 90%, something like that. Okay. Over the course of a human life that might last 80 years, there are millions, possibly billions of decisions, thoughts, perceptions, well, probably more than billions of perceptions, it'd be hard to count. So these different events that we think are interacting with our brain and our senses through what we think is the external world. And let's say that this whole mechanism of coming to reasoned conclusions, reasoned provisional conclusions about the external world and all that kind of stuff are approximately 90% accurate. Take a group of 100 and you score 90 out of 100, and then multiply that 90 out of 100 score by billions, and then move on toward infinity. Do you know what happens when you take something less than 100% and move toward infinity? What does that number approach? What does the ratio approach as you continue to multiply 90% times 90% times 90% times 90% billions of times? It approaches zero, right?
Multiplying 90 towards infinity approaches zero?
90 over 100, 90%. So what I'm trying to say is,
I mean, I'm not a mathematician, but I don't think that adds up.
Well, if you take 90% and then multiply 90% times itself a zillion times, you could take 0.9 to the power of, however many power you want. Okay, so maybe to the billionth power or something. It approaches zero. The more times you multiply it by 90%.
No, it doesn't. Multiplication gets you farther away from zero. What are you talking about?
Not if it's a fraction. So I'm talking about 9/10, right? 90%. Okay, because of the sense of like if you're multiplying a fraction, you mean to where like it becomes division by itself.
If you keep dividing, you get closer to zero.
Right. Yeah. So if you take a fraction, that 9 over 10, 90%. Which is, we would say is a pretty optimistic, success rate for our cognitive faculties and all that kind of stuff. But over the course of billions of times, we're constantly trying to check our different processes.
But as time goes by, you're not dividing down. So that's why that analogy doesn't make sense. You're multiplying
the 90% over and over again.
How are you multiplying 90%?
Well, because each faculty averages 90% success.
So that's how you get 90%. How are you multiplying that? By
because
what?
each faculty incident multiplies 90%. Think of it this way.
No, you're repeating yourself. I'm asking you why,
Okay.
like, how are you getting it multiplies by 90?
Okay, well, let me explain it a different way. If I take a bucket that leaks
Man, answer the fucking question.
over here, okay, so the hole is on the north, like the north side of the bucket, and then I put under it a bucket who has a hole on the south side, under that a bucket with a hole on the west side, east side, middle, and I just keep doing that. Will I ever hold any water? No, I won't. That's how the reliability of senses and cognitive faculties are in a universe without Jesus.
But you would get water eventually.
No, you just keep pouring in. It's all going to leak out because of the holes. Because we cannot rely on our cognitive faculties and our senses on this foundation. But then you say, well, we can't, but then we actually can.
I never said you can't. I never said that.
Well, you said numerous times that we can't. You said that our brains have not evolved to perfectly function correctly.
I didn't. Okay, I said right. And I also stated very clearly that reliability is not the same thing as perfection.
That is exactly it. Let me write that down. Woo! Thank you, Shane. Thank you. Reliability is not perfection. Knowledge does not require certainty. Reliability is not perfection. Knowledge does not require certainty. Say it with me. Reliability does not mean perfection. It doesn't have to be perfect. It has to be reliable. Knowledge does not require certainty. Reliability over perfection. It's not going to be perfect. Is it reliable, though? That is the key. That is the key. This is it. That is it, Shane. You said this already, though. I was listening. Reliability does not mean perfection. It's not. It's reliable, though. Ben said that shit an hour ago. Ben said it.
So less than perfect doesn't mean not reliable.
Okay. What is the difference between reliability and perfection of sense perception?
Should I say it again?
Sorry. What's the difference between reliability and perfection in your view? In this context.
Okay, so perfection is without flaws, and reliable is tendency to not be flawed. Meaning a lot of the time, like a significant proportion of the time, it's not flawed.
But how do you? Okay, so how do you know that it's
like so? For example, if you want to say, how do I know how fast I'm going in my car? I could check a speedometer. Now, is it possible that a speedometer could be wrong? Sure. But
what if I wanted to ask whether you even are traveling through space? How would you check that?
If I'm even traveling through space?
Yeah, if you even exist in space, how would you check that? With your senses, right?
No, actually, because again, that I exist, that reality is real, that logic and reason work. These are presuppositions that are necessary to take any discussion off of its feet.
Right. This is necessary to take any discussion off of its feet. The debate has been over because Shane said this already.
Well, when you say reality is real, I find that to be a smokescreen. You don't know you don't know the contents of reality, do you?
What? It's a okay, so it's a smokescreen to say that reality is real.
No, that you know anything. Like to say it is a smokescreen. Not to...
No, it's the beginning assumption. You assume that reality is real so that you can get your feet off the ground in any discussion. If we're trying to figure out if it's raining or not right now, and you go, oh, but how do you know you aren't dreaming? That isn't really helpful, is it? If we're trying to figure out if it's raining right now or not, does the fact that we might be dreaming matter? Or does the fact that we can look outside and then if that's not enough, test again with another empirical sense, feel that it's raining? We can know that it's raining, can't we?
Can we? Are our senses
reliable?
reliable?
We can.
How do you know?
See, this is not about religion at this point. This is more about your character. When I call you a bitch, it's not because you're religious, it's because of your character. Shane just explained it. We have to assume reality to get this conversation anywhere. We can't even talk if we don't. Come on. So he keeps answering the question that you keep asking. You keep asking, how do you know? He keep answering. He just answered you for the 14,000 trillion time. Flat earther, Bible thumper, he just answered you. We have to assume reality. We got to. We can't do shit without that. How you know it's raining, bro? How you know you? Come on, bro. How do you know? What are you using, bitch?
Because I'm an externalist, so that actually comports with my theory of knowledge.
Well, it's like, so what? So I mean, how do you even know
you
what
could ask, like, how
externalism?
Okay, let me ask you something, Alan. Do you think that in order to know that P, I have to know that I know that P?
I don't think that in a universe where Jesus is Lord, that's a question
I don't
that anybody
care.
can answer.
Yo, what's up, man? Yeah, I'm still live right now. I don't think I saw him, but you calling me on Facebook. You comment? Where you? Wait, I don't see it.
In your live videos, I said a lot of things. My name is Hero Precious. Hero Precious.
I know we friends. We're friends on Facebook, but I don't see your comment. But I know who you are, though. I see a lot of your shit, and I was like, damn, you called me because I've been meaning to speak to you.
Okay.
But go to YouTube and comment so we can see the comments on YouTube. You got to go to.
Okay, I have to go to YouTube.
Go to the YouTube app and go to the. You got to go to the.
Here in Africa, data is one of the things that limits us. But you don't have a problem. I made a comment on Facebook on men and God. Hello?
Yeah, I'm listening.
You were talking about Jesus and God, and those two guys were trying to attack you, talking about the empiricism and the five senses.
Yeah.
I watched a lot and perfect. It's just that I wish I was in that live video to also counter that questions that guy was asking. You understand? Many of them, they don't know that Jesus is an invention. I'm even surprised that a black man knew, a black man like you knew more than them. So you don't need to be discouraged. I really love what you're doing. It's perfect. It's perfect.
Thank you, family.
I sent you a message on your messenger concerning my book. Okay, I have written a book. I don't know if I told you now on Messenger. I sent you a message.
I got the message. That's your.
I would like you to just take your time to read it. Honestly, I need it. I need it to come in. I need your help. And I don't know how small it is, but I really need you to come in and this is my book. I was doing everything on my own, but I felt ill. I was sick, so I couldn't push further. So I had to look at my friends. I have a lot of followers, but some of these people, you don't just tell them your problem. You have to look at somebody that is responsive, understand your plight, that can understand your problem. That is why I came to you.
Hey, look, I'm gonna call you back when I get off, or we gonna talk about it. Yeah, because I've been seeing your shit, and I've been meaning to contact you, but I haven't been able to. But I'm gonna hit you up as soon as I get off because I'm still live.
Okay.
I got you.
It will take a lot of time.
I got you, family.
Your live video will take a lot of time.
I got you. Yeah. I've been meaning to get in touch with that dude, so I had to answer that call because I've been watching a lot of his shit, and I've been trying to get in contact with him, but I haven't been able to. So when I saw he called me, I'm like, damn, this man called me. I'm sorry, y'all. black folk shit. I'm gonna get back to the video though. But that, yeah, he from Africa. He's an atheist. He posts a lot of good shit, and I've been trying to get in touch with him. I haven't been able to. J Mike in the house. J Mike, what it do? Let me get back to it though. My bad, Shane. I ain't mean to cut it off like that. I had to answer that phone call. We lit though. We got it. And y'all gotta like the video. What the fuck going on with my likes? Y'all, no, bro, don't shake ass for free. Y'all gotta like this video. I don't know what the fuck going on. 6 likes? No. Y'all ain't finna hold me. I need some likes, y'all. Do me, come on. Let me play the video. But come on, y'all. Give me some. I need more than that, y'all. How YouTube is not gonna send this to people with 6 likes. We gotta do better than that. Let me play the video.
Do
answerable.
you think that in order for S to know that P, S has to know that they know that P?
I don't know. Because I don't see why I should think that the chemical reactions in my brain reliably produce true beliefs about philosophy and epistemology.
Okay, I don't see why you think that an authoritarian deity would program you to believe things that are true either. So I don't see where you're coming from.
Well, maybe we could debate that sometime. But right now we're talking about whether knowledge can exist. I deny it. You affirm it.
Mm-hmm.
He already proved it though. He proved it. He gave you an example. And knowledge predates Christianity. The debate was over already. So he answered your questions.
I've already made my case, right?
Yeah.
So now you have
to. I know this is the cross-examination. That's what we're talking about. That's why I keep asking you questions. You keep not answering them. You keep making the question.
No, I've answered plenty of your questions.
You didn't answer plenty. You answered all. How do you know? How do you know? We have to assume reality. How do you know? How do you know? You have a reliable method, but it's not perfect. You got to be perfect. You got to be reliable, though. What faculties have a higher tendency to lead to true beliefs? Faith. They rubbing off on me, y'all. They rubbing off on me, Shane. You heard me say faith, then. Facts, reason, logic, empirical senses. Oh, come on, man. This is not rocket science. Damn. Process reliabilism, dude. He done said it 45 times.
When you then re-ask questions about presuppositions that I already answered, then it's stupid. It doesn't matter.
No,
I can know that it's raining if I see that it's raining and I go outside because, okay, maybe I was wrong when I looked. Maybe the sprinkler's wrong. But then I go outside and I feel that it's raining and I look around further. It's cloudy outside. Rain's coming around everywhere. As long as it is the case that I'm not dreaming, as long as it is the case that I'm not a brain in a vat, then I know it. How do I know that I'm not a brain in a vat? Doesn't matter. I presuppose it.
But maybe you are.
Okay.
But if you presuppose it, then you don't know it, right?
Okay, but if reality is real, then I do know it.
But maybe
we have no reason to think that I'm a brain in a vat. And if you want to get any discussion off its feet, then you have to assume a few necessary presuppositions. And one of them is that reality is real. And that's why honest Christians begin with that assumption. And then they reason out from there and try to make their case.
Reality is real. You're not using that phrase correctly.
It's funny. You just keep bringing up problems in my worldview that your worldview also has.
Well, I don't think that my worldview has it at all.
Okay, I don't care if you think that or not. It does.
Okay. Well, we could debate that sometime. When you say reality is real, you keep saying reality is real so as to smuggle in the concept that your senses are reliable, but you haven't proven that reliably.
That's what a presupposition is. I would think a presuppositionalist would know what a presupposition is. And you keep asking me how I know it, and I told you I presuppose it.
But the thing is, you're not presupposing the specifics. I'm asking you about specifics, and you keep saying, no, reality is real. But how do you know anything about the reality is the question. Reality could be real. We wouldn't know.
Logic and reason.
But how does that access anything? Tell me something that you know with only logic and reason in that case, without the use of your senses.
I'm an empiricist, so...
Or your brain.
without my brain, there is nothing without my brain. My brain makes the mind.
But your brain is a factory of chemical reactions, isn't that right?
Yep.
Okay. And there's no guiding volition or intelligence that set that brain up, right? It evolved from a lower life form, right?
Sure.
Okay. But you think that it reliably produces true beliefs just because?
Yeah. Not just because, no.
Okay.
Because of the experience.
But the experience is from the brain, right? It's produced by the chemical reactions. Can you see how that's begging the question just now?
No, it's not, because I've accepted that there are some things that I can't come to know. I can't know that I'm not dreaming. I can't know that I'm not a brain in a vat. I can't know that I'm not the victim of an evil demon. Like, if you want to drive that point home for the rest of the debate, I mean, go for it. I've already accepted.
Okay.
I can't prove I'm not a brain in a vat. The funny thing about the funny thing about precepts is they actually don't solve that problem either. They just say, "Oh, but if I have God, then I do solve that." And this is why I said in my opening statement, we must be careful to differentiate between valid points being made and baseless assertions being difficult to articulate a refutation of.
So just to be clear, you said that you can't know whether you're a brain in a vat, right?
No, can't. Neither can you.
If you were one, and you had all these thoughts about what you believed was true, what you believed was knowledge, but they
Not him cheering like he won. That's what I'm talking about. You lost. Fuck you cheering for? Defeat? You got crucified. No pun intended. Fuck your savior. Fuck your savior, bitch.
weren't actually true, would that mean that they weren't actually knowledge? Because you were a brain in a vat.
Ask that again.
So if you were a brain in a vat, you have a set of beliefs that you think are true and that you think you know. Okay. But you might not know. If you were a brain in a vat, you would not know them because they would not be actually true. Would you agree with that?
Well, some of them that are true, I might still know. So if a brain in a vat was programmed to think that 1 + 1 = 2, if it is the case that 1 + 1 = 2 in reality, then given externalism, the brain in a vat can know that 1 + 1 = 2. It can't know of other things.
Okay.
Because
what if it was programmed to think 1 + 1 = 4?
It'd be wrong.
But would it know? Because it was programmed to think that, right?
It was programmed to think that, sure.
So it wouldn't know that for sure, right?
Probably
like
not,
it wouldn't
no.
know that. It wouldn't know that 1 + 1 = 2. It would know it would think that it knew it was 4, right?
Right.
But it wouldn't be. I mean, obviously, it wouldn't be true.
Yeah.
But
No, this is a true problem that no one's solved in epistemology.
Jesus has.
Okay, where's his answer? Where's his answer?
Jesus answers it.
Okay, then what is his answer?
Maybe you should listen to some Bahnsen.
Bahnsen?
Yeah, Greg Bahnsen. Bahnsen.
Okay. Well, I thought that you would be the one doing the providing tonight, but that's okay. I will look up the work of Bahnsen after.
Maybe if we were to debate that question, if we debated that question, I'd happily give you all the answers that I got. But we're not debating that one.
Well, fortunately, our 30 minutes is up. This has been
brutal.
Something. Okay. I guess I'll go ahead and give my 5-minute closing, give you the opportunity as well. Despite how frustrating and annoying this debate has been, mostly because of the fact that you were uncharitable and dishonest, I do appreciate you taking the time to come on my channel and have this discourse. I know it potentially was frustrating on your end as well. I'm sympathetic toward your view. It seemed like everybody, I'll just address the audience from this point. It seems like what Alan was trying to do was raise problems in philosophy that have not been solved, criticize my worldview for not being able to solve those problems, then make the baseless assertion that he has solved those problems. Is there any actual answer? No, he just says, because Jesus has an answer. I go, what's the answer? Jesus has it. Oh, really? Oh, somebody else has Jesus's answer. Okay, well, then he didn't actually provide anything. Did not make a case that knowledge is not possible without the Christian God. As I explained before, it's one thing when you have a debate and you say, I'm not debating the affirmative or the negative. I lack belief and I'm trying to be convinced. That's one position. Arguing the negative is another thing, which actually does require a burden of proof. If you want to argue that I cannot have knowledge independent of the Christian God, you must establish some criteria for knowledge. And the criteria can't include God, or your criteria is circular. but you have to establish some criteria for knowledge, then explain why only Christianity meets that criteria. Baseless assertions are not the same thing. I forgot to time myself, so for the sake of being careful to not go over time, I'm going to hand the closing statement over to Alan.
Okay, I think you probably had a good 3 minutes to go. I think you only went 2.
Talk, bitch.
Would you like to take 3? I don't mind.
No. You say what you got to say so we can get you the fuck off the platform. Please make America great again.
Or 2 more.
I appreciate that. I mean, even though I have 5, I mean, I'm pretty much satisfied with the
You should be, because you kicked his ass. Amen. Hum through the law.
Debate as it is. So I'll let you take your time, and whether you want to take the whole 5 minutes or go a minute over, it's fine.
Understood. Okay, thank you very much. Thanks to everybody again for listening in. Thanks to Shane for hosting this and agreeing to participate. For me, it's been a blessing, and I greatly appreciate the time and the effort. And
it's been a blessing. Don't insult Shane's platform like that, bitch. This ain't no blessing, ho. This ain't a blessing. You a disgrace to your God, motherfucker.
Obviously, it takes effort to put together statements and to read widely as he has done. There's so many people who just like watch TV all the time. So I can appreciate, a pursuit of knowledge and all that kind of stuff. I'm sorry we weren't able to get to a, convergence of agreement and all that, but at the same time, it's.
How can we agree? You ain't even talking. The whole video, you talking about how do you know? 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 How we gonna fucking agree? You ain't said shit. And then when you do say shit, you get asked a question about the shit you said. Well, how do you know? How do you know? So what you talking about? Right, a blessing. That's what I'm saying. Not a blessing. Not one of those.
Kind of to be expected. I definitely, in no way would I have deliberately attempted to straw man. Like I said, I believe that the things that we were talking about, I was attempting to be more consistent. I believe I succeeded.
Fail, bitch.
I believe that Shane was not consistent.
That's cap, bitch.
And that's what I find about any worldview that is not the worldview based on Jesus, the God of the Bible. It cannot be consistent.
That's bullshit, because your worldview ain't consistent, ho. Y'all can't even agree upon what the fuck the worldview is about, bitch. Half of y'all talking about you got to get in some water. Half y'all talking about you don't got to get in no water. Half y'all talking about the book is literal. Half y'all talking about the book is figurative language. It's just metaphors and similes. Half y'all talking about don't look at the Old Testament. Half y'all talking about the whole book. Half y'all talking about God condoned slavery. Half y'all talking about he ain't. Most of y'all trying to justify it. On one side, y'all say faith without work is dead. On the other side, say if you had a faith of a mustard seed, you can move a mountain. On one side, y'all say if you give your life to Christ, your life will get better. On the other side, you say you're supposed to suffer. Take the joy of the Lord is your strength. Jesus called you to suffer. You're supposed to suffer like Christ did. Your life is not going to get better. You supposed to suffer here so you can get to the afterlife. It's too many denominations for you to talk about any worldview that's not based on Christian. Which type of Christianity are you? Now that you talking about Christianity is the only way, which denomination are you? Okay, you got to defend your denomination against 4,000 other denominations. So what the fuck are you talking about? How is this the truth when the truth can't agree with the truth? Y'all don't even agree. So don't fucking play with my mother. Hey, don't play with my boy like that.
That's because we live in a universe of Jesus's making.
I would have put him back on a split screen. Bitch, you don't get to talking like this, ho. I cut your ending short. Fuck a debate. This is my shit. He would have had to see me.
And anytime that we profess something other than Jesus, total allegiance to Jesus and grace by his gospel.
But God don't want mindless robots, though. Yet he want us to be totally allegiant. Obey your earthly masters as you would in heaven. Why doesn't God interfere on our free will and give people what they need to survive in this world? Because he doesn't want mindless robots. Then to come to find out, the best way is to be a servant to God. Mindless fucking robot. Do what you're told, whether it's good or bad, because the only person that can be judged based on morality is us. We can't judge God. So whatever he tell you to do, whether it's good or bad, it doesn't fucking matter. Do it. Mindless robot.
Gospel. we end up professing absurdity, such
You're professing absurdities.
as things like, the leaky bucket. I mean, hopefully everybody could see the leaky buckets that Shane is stacking up.
Hopefully everybody can see what you talk about is some bullshit.
Appealing to his senses to justify his senses, appealing to his memory to justify his memory,
No. That's the debate is knowledge possible without the Christian God? Not only did Shane prove that, but knowledge predates Christianity. For the 14th billionth time, Bible thumper.
appealing in between all these leaky buckets to try to justify the other leaky buckets. That's not on which to build a solid foundation.
Okay. You have disagreed with his foundation. Leave it at that. You did not. Not only did you disagree, but you made a claim that you think is better. You have to demonstrate that. You can't.
And it's definitely not anything worthy of this topic. I mean, this topic is weighty. If we can't know anything, then let us eat, drink, and marry, for tomorrow we die.
Again, we have to assume reality to have any type of conversation. There are questions we can't answer. There are things we don't know. But to get the ball rolling, we have to assume. Shane, please. Shane.
Bro. So this is an extremely important question. It's not, we can't reduce it just to the day-to-day to ask whether I have pneumonia or something, or talk to a nurse. This is everything. If we don't know anything, if our worldview foundation means
there are some things we have to assume, man.
Can't know anything, that is terrifying. And so
you don't know your God. You have faith in your God. You fear your God first, and then you have faith in him, and then you use everything around you as proof of him because you're scared and you're believing on blind faith. That's terrifying, bitch. Going to hell is terrifying, bitch. Being threatened as a kid that you're born a sinner is terrifying, bitch. Being traumatized is terrifying, bitch. Being disowned from your family is terrifying, bitch. Being called not black. You ain't black if you don't believe in God. That's terrifying, bitch. What's wrong with you? That's terrifying, bitch. You an atheist? That's that white man shit. That's terrifying, bitch.
Since Jesus is Lord, it's great idolatry, because what it really results in is appealing to ourselves as the foundation, appealing to a worship of self. I'm sure
ain't nobody worshiping they self around here. Knowledge predates Christianity. End of discussion. What are you talking about? Now, he didn't say nothing about worshiping himself, not once during this live stream. You just talking out your ass. This is the dishonesty he was talking about. This is the straw man he was talking about. You telling him what he know. You telling him what he believe after he told you what he believe or does not believe, motherfucker.
Sure that many of you listening today don't think, well, I don't worship myself. I don't worship anything. Everybody worships something, man.
No. You worship some bullshit. Don't try to drag us down there with you, because you can't figure out how to be a good person.
You serve.
Bitch, quit interrupting me. Don't try to drag us down with you because you can't figure out how to be a fucking good person without some shit you can't prove, bitch. That's your fucking problem. We don't worship shit around here. Just because we respect each other without your book, just because we treat each other good, regardless of skin color, without your book, just because we talk to one another like we got some fucking sense, just because we're cool. I can be cool with J Mike can be cool with Shane can be cool with Bigotry can be cool with Young Nut can be cool with Robin can be cool with Cray, just because all of us are different shades, different shapes, different colors, and we get along without some moral guidance from the universal God and the omniscient. Come on, you know my shit. Just because we don't need what you need, that don't mean we worship people and human beings and shit, because we love one. Look how they demonize us. Us loving each other without the assistance of some bullshit is us worshiping people. We worshiping each other. Huh? We can't even be a family, y'all. We can't even be in a chat right here together. We can't even be talking to each other, having good times with each other without them trying to make it something evil. We worshiping ourselves. It's a flesh. This is demonic. This is Satan.
Serve something, you worship something, you're giving your allegiance and your like your time and your resources to something.
You talk about it like it's a bad thing. If that is the case, so are you. So what the fuck are you talking about it for? Just like Shane said, the problems you have with my worldview, they exist whether your worldview is true or not too. So why you keep bringing it up like it's just an issue for me? It's an issue for you too. Talking about we work. So what's wrong with worshiping ourselves? Is there something wrong with worshiping ourselves? Why? According to who? A book? If we can't worship ourselves, you can't worship God. How about that? If we can't give our allegiance to each other, you can't give your allegiance to shit either. How about that? Let's play your game then.
Your own pleasure, your own, the morality that you thought up. It was disappointing that Shane kept saying reality is real as if that's supposed to mean something.
Assume reality to get off the ground. He didn't say reality is real, but we have to assume it. We have to assume it. We have to presuppose. But come on, you would think this motherfucker was listening. You sitting here talking to this man for a whole hour, ain't changed a verb, predicate, pronoun, noun, person, place. He's saying the exact same shit he said an hour ago. So why the fuck are we debating them? Let's treat them how they want to be treated, like motherfuckers that are not willing to change, even if proven wrong, even if shown to be a stupid ass motherfucker. Let's talk to them that way. Let's disrespect them the way they this is disrespectful for me to set up a whole debate with you and give you better information, help you understand, and you still saying the same shit. Tell me it's disappointing. You disappointing.
I think we presuppose reality is real. Fine, we can presuppose reality is real, but that does not mean we know anything about.
He didn't say we know anything about anything. He said we have to presuppose reality exists. We have to assume reality exists to get this shit off the ground. Everything else, what we got to do? We got to use our faculty. What faculties we got to use? High tendency to produce true beliefs. Tendency, reliability. That's what we got to use. That's the only thing we can use. Once we assume reality exists, we have to use these faculties that get us the best result. Process reliabilism. He said this. I wrote it down. You have pen and paper in front of you. Tell your brain in the vat wife to write it down for you. Y'all fucking sitting here listening ain't writing shit. I got it wrote down. He didn't say we know any fucking thing. But knowledge does not require certainty. That means using these faculties that are most reliable, high tendency to produce true beliefs, we can know things using the, come on.
About reality or what it means to be real. That's what he kept missing. And that's what he wasn't able, he wasn't willing to consider that. So when he says reality is real, he's like smuggling in reliability of the senses, but he doesn't know that his senses are reliable or even that he exists, because he could be a brain in a vat. He doesn't know that. And he says, well, the day-to-day, but the thing is, if you're a brain in a vat, the day-to-day is the same. You don't know, whether the day-to-day is actually occurring. You don't know any of that stuff. And besides, if you're just evolved pond scum, you don't know anyway. I'm not willing to grant any of that stuff. Shane suggested that arguing the negative requires a burden of proof. Prove it. You must establish.
What? Arguing the negative requires a burden of proof. That's I might say prove it. I might say prove that arguing it. If you're arguing against something, if you saying what I'm saying don't make fucking sense because I have something better, show me what you got. You telling me you don't have to show me anything? So God is real and you don't have to prove it, but it's real. And you gonna go out and spread this to other people. It's real because you say it's real? No. Like I said, too many people have been affected by this bullshit for you to go around talking about some it's true and I don't have to prove it. You got to prove some.
Establish a criterion of knowledge and then explain why Christianity meets it. Why? What sort of
bitch?
of moral obligations or duties exist on a world without God? None that I can see. Maybe we could debate that sometime. I'm sure that there are people out there.
Don't debate him ever again. Fucking bitch.
Who get all mad at what God did in the Bible. They're like, oh man, I can't believe that God was so mean. Well, how do you know that you have any?
These are the kind of people y'all want me to respect. It doesn't fucking matter what happened. It don't matter. He don't care. They're desensitized to the pain and suffering of others. They don't give a fuck about other people. But they want to feed us their religion like they give a fuck. You don't give a fuck because if I have a problem with what your God did, you don't give a fuck. So why the fuck are you giving me your religion? Why the fuck are you going around spreading this shit? Are you going to tell people about the good news? Why? When you don't give a fuck about their pain and suffering. Hey, your bitch ass God let my little daughter that was 9 months old die from brain cancer. I don't fucking care. Who are you to judge God? What? So what are you here talking to me about your religion for? God sure doesn't. So what are you trying to offer me here? You offering me a chance to worship a God that doesn't give a fuck about my pain and suffering, and neither do you. So what the fuck?
Any right or authority to impose your morality on anybody else, let alone your creator. Anyway, in closing, I would like to say that's 3 minutes.
Yeah, bitch, you don't deserve 30 seconds. In the beginning, that's all you need to say and be done. In the beginning, once upon a time, that's all you need to fucking say. Because all you've been saying all night is Shrek, Disney, Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, Paw Patrol, Danny Phantom, Jane and the Dragon, Jacob Tutu, Scooby-Doo, Barney, Sesame Street. That's all you've been saying this whole fucking time. Shit that we made up. Motherfucker. Kim Possible. Proud Family. Give me some more. That's So Raven, Hannah Montana. That's all you've been saying all night. Give me some more. Motherfucking Feel of the Future. Lizzie McGuire ass shit. This High School Musical ass shit you've been talking all night. You ain't said shit relevant or that it made sense. How do you fucking know?
In closing, I'd like to say
Dragon Ball Z, Naruto, motherfucker. Attack on Titan, Bleach, One Piece, Hunter x Hunter, Yu-Gi-Oh, Digimon, Pokemon, Orangutan, Hummerton, all this shit. The Boondocks, Family Guy, Adult Swim, Dave Chappelle. I said Dave Chappelle. I didn't mean to say Dave Chappelle. I meant to say South Park, but I was thinking about Comedy Central and the Dave Chappelle show, so I said Dave Chappelle. But I meant South Park.
Say that I have love for everybody in my heart for who's listening to this channel. I pray God's richest blessing.
Why? Don't pray for us, bitch. You don't give a fuck about our pain and suffering. You just said we can't enforce our morality on anybody else. That means everything that happened in the Bible, you okay with. Everything the Bible was used to do, you're okay with. What the fuck are you praying for us for? For fucking what? You don't pray for us for what? White man?
Blessings on you. Jesus Christ is Lord. You will meet him someday. You will stand before him, and you will give an
man, shame. Ain't no way. Ain't no way.
account of every idle word that you've said.
I got you, Shane. I got you. Bitch. Let's cut this hoe off. Idle word. Fuck your God. So I'm gonna have to give an account for every fucked up thing I said about your bitch ass God. So for what? So what? What's gonna happen to me? I'm gonna go to hell. Okay. So what? You think I'm gonna let my fear of the unknown make me bow down to your God that doesn't give a fuck about nobody else? No. Your God is not good. You don't get to call him good.
and of everything that you've ever done. But the good news is that Jesus Christ, the Lord of glory, left heaven, the glories of heaven, to take on human flesh and to live a perfect life. And after 33 or so years, to deliberately give himself over to be crucified as a sacrifice and a substitute for sinners like you and sinners like me. They buried him after he died. He rose again from the dead in victory, and he is able to give you eternal life and freedom from sin and reconciliation with God and forgiveness. If you will place your faith and trust in Jesus Christ, repent of your sin and trust in him, you will be saved, not only from your sin and the wrath of God, but also from the folly of your nonsense worldview. God bless you. Thank you and amen.
All right. Well, all of that's perfectly rational so long as you're willing to accept talking snakes and donkeys and people living in the whales of stomachs and virgins giving birth and people coming back from the dead. Thank you very much, Alan. It's been.
You ain't got to lie to him. You ain't got to lie to him. We know what you mean. I promise I know what you mean.
A discussion worth having, I guess I could at least say. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. My final, I guess what I'll say, because I didn't give my whole opening statement, I feel that all presuppositionalism does is take problems that nobody can solve, and it gives this really intellectually lazy effort at answering them. Well, I have God, so I have an answer. And then you criticize someone else for admitting they don't have one. But not everybody's actually going to agree with that, including the atheists. So again, Alan, what was the name of your channel? I'll let you plug your stuff one more time.
Yeah.
No, nah, bitch, you ain't plugging it over here. I'm let that nigga plug shit. Fuck off my screen, bitch. Thank you. Thank you, my boy. You can. Oh, y'all funny as hell. I love y'all though, man. We made it through that. Yeah, I know. Yeah, J Mike, I know. They treat as this. Man, that shit was. Oh, we made it through that, y'all. I don't know how, Shane. I don't even know how you did that. Nah, I mean, you saved it for us. Had you, I mean, you pretty much punched him in his face every chance you got, and we thank you for that. But I learned a lot. This shit I wrote, these notes I wrote down, I'm gonna use this for myself because I need this. I like listening to you talk anyway, because I learned shit. But I learned something here. I'm gonna use this. You might hear this in the video, like, man, yeah. So Alan won. But nah, Shane, man, you know I got your back, dog. Let me what's secular at? Let me put this channel in this damn chat. I got you, Shane. Now you my dog. Oh my God. Shane the motherfucking skeptic in this bitch. And I can't seem to. How do I? Okay, let me try to copy it now. Copy. Damn it, man. I'm not on my computer. It's 12. I know. I'm gonna post. I got it this time. That was my boy Shane, man. I just posted the link to his channel in the chat. I appreciate y'all, man. We did it. We made it through that shit. Shane gave us that was a good one though, Shane. I know, right? That's how I feel. Neil deGrasse Tyson. Thank God. Hey, I appreciate that. We here with it, man. But I don't know how I can. No, man. I mean, you have a voice, man. We listen to you because you got what we need. You know, I think you're a genius. You got that shit. Hey, you know what's going on, man. Yeah, we in there. You hear me? Y'all, we in this bitch though. So I mean, what were your biggest takeaways? My biggest takeaway, something that I've heard before, but it's pretty much locked into my head this time, is that we have to assume reality to get the ball rolling. We don't really know shit about shit, which is what I've been saying, but Shane put it in a better form. He formulated that because I just say I don't know shit, but Shane was able to articulate that better. And the method that we use to reach reasonable conclusions and shit, it doesn't have to be perfect. It has to be reliable. Does it have a higher tendency to lead to true beliefs? Well, what is a true belief? Something that we can verify and demonstrate within this matrix, this brain in a vat experience. Can we demonstrate it here though? You need water to survive. We can prove that. Shane's analogy in the beginning was his if he go and see his niece in California that can walk, but she's demonstrated that he can walk. So, I mean, what you mean? It's proven. The debate was over in the first 3 minutes, but we just Shane wanted to be charitable and shit. But yeah, I appreciate that shit, man. This was fun. People are gonna come back and watch this, man, and they're gonna be. I'm gonna put the timestamps. I'm gonna put the timestamps. I'm gonna go back and watch it over. Put all the timestamps. My last video, I did put all the timestamps on my last video. I'm gonna clip it up and make it into short videos and shit. Yeah. But we here though. But I'm gonna it's 1:55. I'm gonna probably end it at 2 and play the game till 3 and then go to sleep. God is God, so therefore God must be God, which means there are I appreciate y'all, man. We did it. We made it through this. I ain't mean to have you up this long, but I'm horrible at doing reaction videos because every time they talk, I want to fucking talk. I talk more than Shane did, and we was watching his video. I said, "Fuck it." This stream was supposed to be 2 hours long. Their video is an hour. My goal was to talk for an hour in between. You know, I talk for 2 fucking hours though. So, but secular man, get some sleep. Get some sleep. I'm gonna chop this. I gotta chop the other video up into small videos. I'm gonna chop this one up into small videos. Materialist Dan, I appreciate you. Thank you for coming, man. Thank you for coming. It's good to see y'all. You know, y'all know I love y'all. Y'all know this home. Y'all know we're home, man. Tomorrow is Monday. It's video day. So, tomorrow I'm gonna do the Book of Mormon. Yep. I ain't gonna even lie. It's gonna be that should be fun. But when I get up in the morning, I'm doing the Book of Mormon. So brace yourself. Ah, my boy. Man, that's what's up, Shane. That's what's up. Look at that bread. Y'all see that bread? Man, I done made about $25 tonight. And y'all sent that cash to me. Thank y'all. I appreciate y'all for supporting this channel, man. It wouldn't be nothing without y'all. I appreciate y'all. And Shane, anytime, dog. You know, anytime, bro. What you say on that thing? Nah, it definitely was worth it. It definitely was worth it. We going 24. Teal, you know what? This is your second time telling me that. We're gonna do it. 24. We're gonna do it. 24 hours, New Year's Eve. I got you. Hey, my birthday is a month from yesterday. My birthday is December 7th. So today's the 8th, but yesterday was a month from my birthday. So I don't know what we're gonna do for that, but I know we're gonna do something. It's 1:57, but I love y'all. Yeah, we're gonna do 24. I can do it. You know, if anybody can do it, it's me. I can do that shit. Cause I'm Black Atheist Rant. I done went 8 hours. I can do 24. I just gotta have people on the panel rotating in and out and shit. Okay, I need your help. I know I'm gonna need your help. This is what we're gonna do, materialist Dan. I really want that. I ain't gonna let that slide past me. I want that. I'm gonna need your help because it's some shit I probably ain't gonna know. Shit, I can talk now. Hold up, materialist Dan. Don't go yet. I need you for a minute. I'm trying to send you something. If you ain't on Instagram, I'm gonna catch that stream in the morning. Then no, I ain't going live tomorrow. I ain't going live tomorrow. I'm just posting the video tomorrow, but I'm trying to send this damn the link to my Discord. So because I know Dan is on Discord. I done talk to him before on Discord. But I need to send him this Discord link so he can hit me up. I need some help with this Mormon shit. This is gonna be my first time doing a video on this shit. Dan, materialist Dan, hit me up. I need you to help me because I gotta make this video tomorrow. So I need you to just like, damn, I don't know how I'm gonna be able to do it. I'm gonna have to catch you in the morning. I just got a couple questions before I make my video, so you can just. I'm gonna send it. As soon as I get up, that's gonna be let me write that down. Materialist Dan, because I'm too sleepy right now. But I got like 3 or 4 questions, and I'm gonna need some help with that, and I'm gonna make sure I give you credit in the video. They're gonna be like, "Thank God for material." I'm like, I know, right? But it's gonna be fun, y'all. And 2:00. Yep, it's time to end it. I love y'all, Young Nut. I love you, Robin, Materialist, Teal, 5Y, Niner, 5E, 5Y, Niner, Hour, Cray, love you, Robin, Shane, Secular, great stream. I agree. Good night, y'all. Shit, I don't gotta be at work till 4 in the afternoon tomorrow, so that's why I'm up so late. I can do this. Today is not my day, but I was actually supposed to react to Shane's video before I reacted to the one from yesterday, so I had to. But luckily, I meal prepped this morning before I went to work. So right now, I would have been meal prepping for the week, but I did it before I went to work, and so when I got off, I was able to come here and do this for Shane, because that's my dog. But I was itching. I like how I do these reactions. We're gonna have to start doing this. The next reaction I'm doing. Okay, I'm gonna tell y'all the schedule. I'm gonna tell y'all my new schedule, and then I'm gonna get off. So my new schedule is Mondays, I'm gonna post a video. Tuesdays and Thursdays, okay, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I'm gonna post a video. Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'm gonna go live in the morning at like 11 in the morning, around noon in the morning time, because a lot of people can't catch the Friday night stream. So I'm gonna just start going live on Tuesdays and Thursdays in the morning time for the people who can't catch the Friday night stream. But I'm gonna still be going live on Friday nights at 8 o'clock. So it's gonna be a video on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. It's gonna be live streams on Tuesday morning, Thursday morning, and Friday nights. And then on Saturday and Sunday, it's nothing. So I don't even supposed to be live right now, but that's how it's gonna go. So if you might be at work and you able to look on your phone, or you might be at home. Tuesday morning, I'm gonna do a live reaction video to something that I was sent by Yes Ma'am. She wanted me to do a video about Joel Osteen. It's like a 20-minute video, so the live ain't gonna be nothing but like an hour, but we're gonna react to that junk. So I'll see y'all Tuesday morning for the live stream. Be on the lookout for my video. I'm gonna hit Materialist Dan. You the first person I'm talking to when I wake up in the morning. So I got my Book of Mormon. I just gotta make sure I'm on point. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. But if you can, if y'all can come because I need y'all to show out for that morning junk. Because I want to keep doing that. Because the last time I did that junk, I had got like, you know, good following. It was like 25 people watching. So if y'all can come hang out Tuesday morning, Thursday morning, like at 11 noon, man, make sure y'all come support your boy. I love y'all. We family. We together. This is us. We have to talk about this shit because the day we stop, our lives end. This matters. This discussion matters, y'all. Remember that. Remember why we doing this. It ain't for us. People got to see this. This motherfucker's being abused right now. We gotta do what we can do. So I appreciate y'all. I'm out.